Greetings, everyone.
Ah.
Hello.
Ah.
Wait, wrong show. Wrong show.
Oh, shit, wrong show.
I think the music's still going. I'm going to
Wrong
fade that
show.
down. Woo.
Fade it.
There we go. Goodness. Feels like it's been 10 million years, Ryan.
Feels like a long time.
It does. It does indeed.
Feels
Man,
like a very long time.
it's good to be back in the saddle. I don't know. Dead
It
ass.
is.
Like we did a show last week, right? Like we did. Yeah.
Oh,
We did.
No, we did the whole. This is 2 in a row.
Yeah.
But dude,
Yeah. For some reason, this just feels.
This is 2 in a row.
This just feels like vaguely foreign for some reason. I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I guess just a lot of stuff has happened in the last 7 days. Who knows?
That's what it is. It has been a pretty busy 7 days.
Mm-hmm.
For your boy.
John Clemens in the chat. What up, party people? Hello, my friend. Yes. I want to start the show off just with a word of encouragement to everyone that is aspiring to be like really anything in life. But just want to let you know to believe in yourself, because I didn't believe in myself about, I don't know, 60, 90 seconds ago before the show, behind the curtain, which is why you're here. This is what we do. And so I was trying to think to myself, like Ryan and I we're just sitting in silence, as we often do before the show. And I was like, I want to get Ryan on something, and I just started thinking like just weird random stuff. I was like, it doesn't even have to be funny. Like it just needs to be stupid or funny if it works. And
because that's how you get me.
Exactly.
Just random and stupid, and I'm in.
Either way. Well, it's kind of like splitting down the middle. It's like I'm either gonna like get him on the chuckle bus, or he's gonna be able to volley it, and like we'll start like down
and serve it right back. Oh yeah,
exactly. And so that's why BFFs, blood of my blood, like that's what we do. And
all day.
So, but I didn't believe in myself when I thought I'm just sitting here fixing the notes and doing all this stuff, and I go in my head, that voice that tells Ryan to talk to everyone else about space told me to say, hey, tell Ryan enter Sandman instead of enter Sandman, and I was cracking up.
So good.
Enter Sandman.
Listen to your inner Sandman.
Enter Sandman. Oh my goodness.
You know more than one person has typed that on the internet as inner. INNER, inner Sandman. You know that they have.
Has to have.
You know that they have.
Right. Like that paperclip has come up more than once and said, "Did you mean enter Sandman?" Of course.
Oh, did you mean enter Sandman? Do you want to go ahead and kill yourself?
What if, like, when you do that, he just pops up and he just starts reciting all the lyrics to Enter Sandman? Say your prayers, and it just goes into that.
That'd be amazing.
That would be. Anyway, you were saying?
Oh, I was saying that I guess the YouTube gods are trying to hammer a message home to me this week. It seems like every single video I've watched on YouTube, and I watch a lot of YouTube, almost every single video I've watched on YouTube this week has had someone saying like, "Oh, well, like fork this because I don't want to get demonetized." Like,
there you
every
go.
video has had them basically like say like that monetization though on every single video, and I'm like, YouTube, are you trying to tell me to keep the words down on the show so we don't get demonetized? I mean, we're not monetized to start with, but like one day when we are,
right.
You gotta think it. You gotta think about it. I've thought about taking a curse-free approach to the show now. I think it would be a challenge for me.
Okay.
Because it's one of those things, and once again, because we're here on the pregame show, we're going behind the curtain a little bit.
Of course.
It's one of those things where I always felt like the language. Now, of course, we both agree, and we said several times that there's some shit we said before there. See, I lost it right there.
Right there.
Well, on the main show. On the main show. I'm going to hold it to the main show. I gotta start somewhere. But we said things that are like obviously like just not necessary. But the common cursing, I always felt kind of made the show feel like more real, like more like what, like, two adult men talk about the Turtles, like they would use profanity sometimes, like I mean, especially if they're having a lot of fun or whatever. But now I start to think, I'm like, maybe it's more of a challenge. Maybe it's more of a challenge to keep it cleaner.
Yeah, absolutely.
But it's hard because when I get into my mode, you know what I'm saying? Like when I get on the Chuckle Bus, it becomes nothing but pure curse words every other word. Like it just how it starts, you know? Like
well, I don't want you to beat yourself up too bad because for one, you've been doing fantastic like the last couple episodes. There was one where you just gotta let them go, but like since we've been on YouTube, you've been doing fantastic. And
I've been trying to keep some of the worst stuff down, but it's still they'll pop out main show, and I'm kind of like, man, like Ryan, I don't know.
So, but nothing will be nothing. Like one of my favorite memories is Father Preston coming up to me at work with a sticky note talking about how many F words we used per minute in those early days. Oh my god, I would just be like working, kicking people out of their houses, like making sure the affidavits are filed and all this stuff, and then I just see a sticky note, just a little like the tiniest hand.
It was like 40. It was like 42 times in a minute or something like that. He counted it. I was like, my god, man, like. What is up with that?
But you make a very valid point. Like, I was oddly you mentioned this. I was thinking about it before the show. For some reason, I can't remember why, but I was thinking about like how when rappers, like you have rappers that curse all the time, and then you try to like not do that while rapping. Like, it's difficult.
Yeah,
it's very difficult because
it is.
Profanity gives you there's like so many springboards, especially in rapping. And it without that crutch, it's a challenge, and there are a lot of people that do it really well. And I think speaking also,
it becomes a thing. It becomes a thing where I think there's two forms of like casual cursing, right? There's the curse as the curse as placeholder, right? Like instead of saying or like, well, or whatever, you just like insert a curse word there, right? Like because the conversation's leaning that way, right? And then I think there's the cursing being used as like the salt and pepper of language is what I like to refer to as, it's the spices of language. It's used there okay, so I've already screwed it up on the pregame, so I'm gonna let myself have a few, okay? But like, and this is for strictly educational purposes. But if you say like, that guy is an idiot, versus if you go, that guy is a fucking idiot, like that adds something to it. Like it's not a case where like, you know what I mean? It's not a case where like the word, like it's like, oh, he just put that in there to curse. It's like. It really means like it puts more on there, like
it does.
So I feel like that, and that's the kind of cursing that I typically do. Like I use it as that salt and pepper. We got John Clemens in the chat saying watch your fork and language, and then PG-13 rules you're allowed one F-bomb.
That's true.
Well, I mean,
I don't know about monetization wise, but in a movie,
I don't know about monetization wise.
In a movie, I think monetization wise, I think we can say the S word. I think that is okay.
Maybe,
but everything else is questionable. But
see, on the River Court, I did a good job because we kept ourselves to One Tree Hill language, which actually worked really well in the context of the show.
Right.
Because you can say damn. You could say hell, you could say stuff like that, but like you can't upgrade. You know what I'm saying? You can't use the $5 curse words. And I was able to keep myself in line pretty well there.
Yeah.
So I thought about applying the same thing to the show here, but those two shows are so different. Like the subject matter and the co-hosting and stuff, it feels different to me.
Honestly, I feel like me and Lex are practically twins at this point. Like, I feel like we are a 1-for-1 copy of each other, like dead ass. Like, if you saw me and Lex walking down the street, you wouldn't know the difference. I'm pretty positive about that.
Mm-hmm. Except she could fit in your belly like Krang. But besides
absolutely, and we've done it, and it's amazing. So that's for patrons only, though.
I mean, I beg to differ. I mean, while you're both blood of my blood.
Oh, I was making a joke. I was totally making a joke. Like, I was just trying to.
Okay. Let's say co-hosting and stuff with you guys is very different. Very, very different. Because you and I, it gets. It gets in there. You know what I'm saying? It's got a different spin coming off it for sure.
It does
John Clemens says my mouth is such a sewer. There's a rat raising 4 turtles in it. There you go.
Keeping it topical. Thanks, John.
Go. John Clemens, in between saying sorry, he also says a lot of curse words. John, do you have to say sorry after every curse word, or after like a string of them? Like, can you like let Splinter and the 4 turtles like get like a dojo practice in, and then run a sorry at the end of it,
right?
Or with every clang and every cowabunga, do you have to drop a sorry? That's my big question for John. All I do with John is we talk about like guns, and then we talk about like I basically make fun of him for being Canadian, and then he just acts like America ain't no big thing. That's the relationship that John Clemens and I have.
I love it.
Yeah,
that's beautiful.
Pretty great.
Yeah. Goodness, I don't have anything. Well, the only thing I know about Canada is when I went to where's the water? What's the waterfall called? Niagara Falls.
Horseshoe Falls.
No. just any of them, all of them. No, when we went to Niagara.
No, isn't the Canadian side of Niagara Falls called Horseshoe Falls? Am I wrong with that?
You might be right. I don't know off the dome, but
I don't know much about America. I don't know. I'm America's head. I don't.
Right.
I wear a hat. Like
exactly.
But I don't know how many stitches are inside the bill of this hat. You know what I'm saying?
But yeah, going to Niagara Falls was insane. Looking at like the city that it is actually in, and you could literally see into Canada, and it looked like being in hell and looking at heaven. Like, just starkly different, like with a Ferris wheel, all the
I gotta drop this in. So so the Niagara Falls is technically the blanket name for 3 different waterfalls, those being the Horseshoe Falls, the American Falls, and the Bridal Veil Falls.
Oh, okay.
The Canadian side of Niagara Falls, located between Goat Island and Table Rock, is known as the Horseshoe Falls.
There you go. Got him. Yeah. So I recommend going to Niagara Falls, like the area that they've built around the actual falls of like on the New York side is beautiful, and it looks fantastic. However, once you get into the actual city, like you literally cross the street, and it's like a dead zone, and it's had something to do with like toxic waste being dumped like in that area. There's some sort of nuclear thing, like something like not good happening there. And they was under the ground, and kids were playing in it, and it was wild.
Are you talking about Love Canal?
I think I am. Yeah, there's something. I think that tangentially had something to do with it.
Yes. Yeah. Okay. Yep.
And so,
Love Canal. Yeah. Love Canal. I believe that was dioxide. I believe that they paved the city. No, that was a different place. Yeah, it was dumping ground for toxic chemicals, because basically, like, it was a planned community back in the 1890s.
Mm-hmm.
And then in the 20s, it became a dump site. And then, it got really bad. And then they built a school on top of it.
Exactly. Like you do.
And kids had dioxide and stuff like coming out of the ground. That's right. Mm-hmm. Love Canal. Yep. I nailed that shit. Hoppa! Like a lightning strike.
Goodness.
John Clemens. Niagara Falls is 40 minutes from my hometown. Legit.
That's awesome.
Can you hear him from? No, not 40 minutes. You can't hear it. But that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah, they were neat.
Those goddamn falls again.
But it was an interesting experience, just seeing the dichotomy of like, oh, here's this, and then, oh no, I'm gonna die, and then it's like, oh, here's this beautiful place, and it's just right across there's so many allegory or analogies I can make about like being so close to freedom or like really cool stuff, but you can't get it. Yeah, but that's just right up there. Anyway, I digress.
Duncan Gale hops in the chat, says Niagara Falls. That's where the Technodrome almost returned. That's true.
Oh, that's right. It did.
Niagara Falls, right outside New York City, like everywhere else is.
And that was so good, that episode. Like,
John Clemens says also Buffalo, New York exists. That's some kind of disaster. Damn.
It does. We actually we might have already talked about all this, but I'll talk about it again. But that was where we wanted to go, because when we went for like a family event, and Niagara was kind of besides the actual attraction, most of it was pretty much a bust. So we took an Uber to Buffalo, and found some really cool record stores and checked it out. And it's a neat. I like Buffalo. Buffalo, the little bit that I saw, it was rainy, but it was still cool. But you go out. We walked out one of the record stores, and there's just this huge mural to the Goo Goo Dolls, and I was like, oh, that's neat, because I guess they're from there. So yeah.
Oh.
But But yeah.
Right next to Mount Rushmore. That's right, Duncan.
Yeah,
right next to Mount Rushmore.
That episode.
Right next to Florida, where the punk frogs live. Right next to everything.
Yeah, like, it's just, I don't know. I got to believe that Shredder was on some Next Tech stuff. Like, he could open, like, mini portals to, like, get him, like, places further. But that was so, like, he's one of those villains that are, like, he doesn't realize, like, he's, what he's got because he's wanting something so much bigger. So he wants to,
that's
like,
right.
He can just, like, I can just walk and teleport myself.
He's just, like, solved. No, he just solved travel.
Right, exactly.
He's just like, I'm good.
But no, I'm trying to fix this, and it's like, no, but you solved world hunger. Like, there's no, like, kids aren't dying. Like, animals don't shed their fur anymore. Like, chicken breasts you could snap and chickens turn into chicken breasts. Yeah.
See, one day we may have a piece of that, because I feel like if this ever happens, if SpaceX's Starship, like, they have a plan for it, that's going to be suborbital transportation,
right?
And man, you're talking about like 10 minutes to Europe.
Man, 10 minutes.
Like, yes, because, like, if you go up, see, we have this Concorde shit, you know what I'm saying? We're like, we're gonna fly like kind of like 50,000 feet, and we're gonna go real fast, and you can get to London to New York in 2 hours. It's awesome, right?
Yeah.
But, like, if you use an actual rocket, like, have you ever, like, watched, like, a SpaceX launch, like, streamed, and just seen the timeline of like where that thing is? Dude, that thing is like most of the way to Africa before it starts worrying about getting into orbit. Like it is, like, still like, all right, we're good. Like, yeah, if we want to stay up here now, we're gonna have to burn and get into orbit. Like, you could, like, easily, like, the time it would take to get anywhere would be ridiculous. Like, that's some Shredder shit. That's how you get Mount Rushmore right next to New York. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah, but are we gonna have people going around like the monorail episode of The Simpsons, where they're selling cities on their own rockets to, like, travel? Is that how it's gonna be, or do you think it's just gonna be a centralized, like, location where we're just firing off rockets?
Well, I mean, like, it shows. I mean, like, the concept art shows, like, a starship, like, just at a, like, pier, like, off the Hudson, just like, come on, y'all. And I'm like, I don't. That'd be a lot. Like, how are you gonna deal with the rocket exhaust off that thing? Like, I mean, it's just like, oh yeah, come on, y'all. All right, now everyone get 500 feet away at least. Right. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't. Like, I don't know, but I mean, then again, for a suborbital flight, like, you don't need a whole hell of a lot. I mean, if you look at what Bezos just did, I mean, the rocket exhaust off that rocket wasn't. I mean, you don't want to be right next to it, but you also don't need to be like a city away from it either. You know,
that's true. Yeah. I saw somebody made they did a art project, or they just did like a meme. I don't know if it was actual painting or they just approximated it, but like they basically made the crew of Bezos' ship into the Fantastic Four. And
I saw that.
Yeah, that was like, oh, that's interesting. But I mean, I kept scrolling, of course. But
it was a tough middle of the week for me.
Yeah,
because
that's what
people that don't, like, know anything about anything about space travel right now were just like, oh yeah, well now I know, and this is stupid. And I'm like, you just need to not talk like right now. Like, it's okay to have your take about, like, Bezos, like yeah, sure, like, you know what I mean, rich get richer shit. Like, yeah, he took his first flight, sure, and whatever. But, like, it's so annoying that the media made that the story, because it's really not the story. Like,
yeah,
and people that don't,
like, do you
know or don't.
I'm sorry.
Go ahead.
I was just gonna say, do you think that if this had happened, like, before the last president, like, and all the stuff leading up to that. Like, so maybe like Obama or like a little bit before him. Like, do you think that it would have had a different impact because we kind of have a sour taste
I think that
millionaires or billionaires right now?
I think that the world's just kind of worn out, and I think that like billionaires doing something, more and more people are getting kind of queued up, kind of clued up on the whole like that man could just end homelessness in the United States for $20 billion, and he's got $600 billion, and he won't do it. Like, I think there's enough of that like going on, but at the same time, like, it's a lot more. The whole issue is a lot more complex.
Oh, absolutely.
Than a billionaire built a rocket. Like just to spread the knowledge here on the show, like the important thing about that flight that you probably didn't get from the news was that that flight man-rated Blue Origin's space capsule. Okay, it was the first manned flight of that capsule. That capsule, plus Dragon and other ones in development, are going to get us to the moon. Like, that's what's important about that. Like, the reusability was great on the rocket itself, but that's not new. The new thing that happened was that people tested it, and now it is man-rated. So if you take that capsule with some, with like a bigger heat shield and stuff and whatever, you can strap that on top of Blue Origin's newest rocket, New Glenn, which is going to be a full orbital launch vehicle. Strap it on there, and you can take astronauts to the ISS. You can eventually take us to a parking orbit around here, and then go to the moon with it. That's what's important about it. Like, and not to mention the fact that Wally Funk got to fly in space, and I feel like before the launch, everyone was like, "Guess what I just found out? This woman who never got to be an astronaut because she was a woman gets to fly." And there was like a beautiful moment where everyone was like, "Cool, Wally, yeah." But then like Bezos comes out of the capsule like, "I hate billionaires. I don't give a shit about anything else."
Yeah.
The coolest part. Did you see any of the footage of them like inside the capsule?
No,
like,
no.
Weightless. It's so great. Like it was so great because Bezos and his brother are like tossing this like little orange ball to each other. Like they're half out of their seats. Like, yeah, look, it's weightless. Wally Funk is like in her 80s. She's like a spider, like on the ceiling.
Yeah.
She's like having a ball. She's like up there, like, wow, like going crazy. And I'm like, that's amazing. I was like, I love that. I absolutely love that. That woman should have been an astronaut. Dead ass.
Yeah.
Like,
definitely.
Should have been an astronaut in 1960. Like, should have been a Mercury astronaut. Straight up. Yep. Like, and she set so many aviation records and so many things. It's just great to see her be able to do it. If I was Bezos, my only knock on Bezos is, because if I paid billions of dollars for a rocket, I'd ride it too. My only knock on Bezos is I would have let Wally come out first.
Yeah, that's fair. Yeah.
Like, he came out first and did this whole like ta-da bullshit, and I think that's the image everyone sees and goes like, yeah, screw you.
Yeah,
I'll let Wally pop out. I'd be like, Wally, you go. Like, I'll be the last one out. Like,
could you imagine like? I mean, the risk you run is that it's easily overlooked if you do that, but at the same time, if it's noticed, then it speaks volumes. Like, even if you don't mean it, if it's disingenuous, if you're doing it for attention, nevertheless, you're still doing it. Like, you have the thought process to know that caring about putting other people before yourself is actually like very, a good trait to have, like, regardless of if you're faking it or not.
It gives Wally the experience of opening a capsule door and coming out first, which is what she should have done on Mercury.
Yeah.
When she landed. So, I mean, like, to me, now, to Bezos' credit, I've heard he's a pretty big space buff, and that he chose Wally on his own. Like, that it wasn't like a PR thing where they're like, "Oh, Bezos, you should choose her." Like, he's like a huge like space history buff, and like been eyeing her for a flight. Yeah. Like, they had one. So he basically was like, one seat I'm gonna choose, and then the other one got auctioned. Because there was him, his brother, one that got auctioned off, and one that he was going to choose.
Right.
And he chose Wally, which is awesome. I mean, that's pretty great. So, I mean, whatever. It was a very frustrating week for that, because I was kind of like hearing all these like hot takes, and I'm like, you don't know anything about space. Stop talking about it. And like it was a little frustrating, especially from people that I respect. Like, and look, like, I've been as guilty as anyone of ignorant takes. Like, when you see something that gets you incensed, you want to react, and you want to like kind of reaffirm how you feel about it. Like, I 100% get that. And I'm not calling like anybody that made a post like that like ignorant. I'm not saying that. It's just like anything. Like, I'm sure I'm sure that everyone that's done what I'm talking about and goes like, wow, Ryan just said I was ignorant. I'm sure that like you've also been on the other end of that too, right? Like all of us always are. Like I'm sure there's something that you really care about that like all of a sudden everyone starts to notice it, and they like you hear all these hot takes and you're like, well, that's not really informed and that's kind of ignorant and whatever, and you understand, but it can still be frustrating, you know.
Oh yeah, totally. Like that's something we're going to talk about here in a second.
I mean,
just a little bit.
Isn't that what the whole turtle thing is? Like, I mean, we're all here doing this all day, right?
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, like Michael Bay makes a movie, and you've got all these like movie reviewers like, well, the turtles, the real turtles, and you're like, you don't, okay,
yeah.
Like you don't know what you're talking about, but that's fine. You know what I mean? Like I think we all kind of live with that in different ways.
Oh yeah, and then you have the people that got into the movie, like that was like their first movie that they could go see as a kid, like where their parents were like, okay, yeah, you can go to the movies with your friends, and it was to go see the Ninja Turtles movie, and that was their turtles. And as much as we may not like that, like those turtles, it's still like something to them, so it still has some value regardless of like whether or not we like it or not. To the same point about
like one of those things, like yeah,
I was gonna say that you do know, I was talking, I forget who I was talking to, but I was saying that it's not like they just said, oh, this billionaire is just going to fly up into space and then for 10 minutes and then come down. No, yeah. They're like, well, if you're, okay, that's cool, you're going to do that, but we're also going to be monitoring all of this, and can you use this stuff and this, so we can test all this stuff, so we can kind of get
it's like, it's really good. I mean, like, so like I saw a thing, one meme. I get it. It was like, I don't know if you saw this one, but it was like my dad got to see someone land on the moon. I got to see a billionaire fly up in a penis rocket, right? That's like the whole meme. I mean, and like I get that, but if you want the actual answers behind why that is, like that's an observation, that's true. Like got it. I get it. If you want the actual observation behind why that is, and you want the actual explanation, it's just not clean, and it's gonna make you feel real bad about a lot of people that you probably really don't want to feel bad about, like NASA and stuff. Like you're not gonna want to know, right? I mean, you also saw the construction of the ISS. You saw the first people living. You saw in your lifetime, and this is the annoying thing, in your lifetime, you saw for the first time in human history, not all humans living on the planet Earth anymore.
Yeah. Oh, wow. When you put it that way, it kind of changes everything. Yeah, that's nuts.
Since the first crew of the ISS, and it is still going, not everyone has been on Earth at the same time.
Right.
That is the first time. And you got to see that happen in your lifetime. Yeah. So the fact that you're seeing it, you see a billionaire fly away on a penis rocket, that's great. Eventually, you're going to see manned missions to Mars.
Right.
And so just hang tight.
Exactly.
Like, I feel like you could say, oh, my grandfather saw the Civil War, and all I saw was some guy go up in a rocket and come back down again. It's like, well, I mean, that was going to get you to the moon eventually, man. Like, right. I mean, Yeah. But that take got me, because I'm like, it's that classic meme. I don't know. It goes around in 40K circles a lot because there's so much lore and shit. But there's this like whole thing where it's like a text message and someone goes, why did Horus betray the Emperor? And then the only response is like an audio message that's like 6 hours and 40 minutes long. It's like it. I feel like if you came to me like, look, man, why is it that my dad saw a guy land on the moon, but then like I saw a billionaire on a penis rocket? It'd be like 8 hours, 20 minutes. You know what I mean? That's like all it'd be.
Right.
John Clemens does bring up Mirror and Skylab before that, but John, unfortunately, those were shorter duration runs. I mean, Mirror was effectively just a Russian space capsule that people just docked to and walked into. Skylab barely had a crew, and was not sustainable in the slightest.
But were any of them?
But no, you're right. There were.
Or was this the first penis rocket?
I mean, aren't all rockets phallic at the end of the day? I mean, the truth is, the thing about the Blue Origin thing is that the reason it looks like a penis is because the capsule up top is rated to go on a bigger rocket, and the rocket underneath it's just a little suborbital boy. That's why.
There you go.
What gives it the real penis shape, really, is the fact that like it doesn't help that like the rocket's skinny, but then like there's ports just below the capsule that are made to vent the capsule's like abort engines. Like they fly. So if the rocket was ascending and started to have a problem, like an anomaly or something kind of blew up, the capsule would fire off solid rocket motors. It's called a full envelope abort to get you away, basically. Like,
okay.
You know what I mean? Right. And like take you away.
Right.
It didn't help because that really helped solidify the mushrooming of it all. Indeed. Like, in my opinion. But we can talk more about that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm totally about it. If you want to come to me and say, Ryan, I'm really upset. Obviously not on Turtle Soup time, but on your own time. Ryan, I'm upset that it looks like a penis. I could be like, well, I can at least explain why it looks that way.
Honestly,
because it looks stupid.
It doesn't matter if it's a spaceship or a pencil or anything. If you're upset that it looks like a penis, holler at your boy Ryan. He will talk you through it.
Yeah, and I'll try to explain why it does.
8-hour message.
8-hour message. You're like, why does a mushroom cloud look like a penis? I'm like, there's a lot of hot air happening, and I can explain it.
Yep.
I can explain why it does a mushroom cloud.
Right.
But that's why.
That's why. And we're about to explain
here we go.
Other stuff. We got
John says, I'm gonna find some Skylab and Mir vets, and they're gonna rough you up. Look, I'm not talking about like, I mean, the cosmonauts and astronauts that went up, were up, but Mir was short term. It was there though, but I guess what I'm trying to say is this. I mean, at the end of the day, okay, and Skylab should have also been made better, and that was also budget concerns and things like that. What I'll say is this: those things ended. Skylab in particular came back to Earth in a way that could have just killed people. It wound up hurting a cow in Australia, I believe. But the thing is, those projects ended.
Right.
The ISS is still going. So at the start of the ISS crewed missions, that's why the whole thing is, since the ISS, not all humans have lived on Earth. Because obviously after Skylab, there was a long time where all the humans were on Earth. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. And all the humans are about to be on the Prime side. So you ready for this? Muted. Are we muted? Lordy day. Can y'all hear us now? Is that working? Say something, Ryan.
Oh my God.
Goodness.
Something.
All of that. How was that muted? That was weird. Anyway. Well, I'm going to have to splice some audio today. So that's going to be fun. But yeah.
Yay.
So I'm probably going to have to what I'll probably end up doing is replacing the cuz we record the video too. So and the audio. So yeah, so I'll just have to replace it. But yeah, we should be all right. But sorry about that, guys.
Sean Clemens, I was calling you out for trying to call me on a space battle right when I went off of the pregame show, and I said that you're Googling and you don't know shit. I didn't say that word, but I said it now. And I said, don't challenge me, and I said you're Googling and you'll lose this fight.
That's what he said. Yep.
And I said that August is playing baseball and it's really fun.
Yeah,
and
there you go.
That's it.
And then I was talking about my back, and we were talking about
Eric said inner Sandman.
There you go.
And it's still as funny as the first time he said it about 30 minutes ago.
Exactly. So now you're all caught up. So sorry about that. That's the joys of live streaming. You don't know what kind of technicalities you're going to get into. So anyway, yeah. So you were asking me about me, and I'm okay. I just realized that I'm starting to have more and more of a realization that I can't drink coffee, like regular coffee, unless I'm doing something like this or something like outdoors, like I'm actually being active. But if I'm just like sitting, like it's weird. Like I've almost become like a different person, and it's super strange to me. Yeah. It's not fun. Like my inner Sandman like takes over and doesn't make me sleepy. It just makes me angry. And
no.
So yeah, it's rough. But other than that, just trying to be excited about this new He-Man cartoon that's coming out tomorrow. And amidst all the people that are upset that someone besides He-Man might have a little bit more focus on this one. And people just don't like when women get like attention in cartoons for some reason, like, or have any kind of agency. Like, I don't know. It's unnerving, but nevertheless, I'll get through it. So, but I am really excited for a couple things today. There's a lot. We got a lot to go on. So we're going to try some stuff. I think I've got everything.
We're going to try some stuff.
We're going to try it.
Yeah.
I think, Ryan, if you're ready, I think we got some news. And it's still not showing us. Why is it doing that? I don't know. That's strange. We'll be there in a second.
I don't know, but it will.
There we are.
And then we're getting hot.
Yeah. So
all right, we got the news. We got NECA news.
Yes.
NECA time. NECA news.
So
run it.
NECA high. No. There's something there. I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Almost. Work on that. Workshop that.
We're going to
workshop that.
So
go to the workshop.
So yeah. So for those who joined us last week, we talked about all the pregame stuff for NECA's, what were they calling it, NECACon or something like that. And yeah, so that happened.
NECA high knee ho.
Exactly.
They called it.
There you go. And so yeah, Randy pops out of the little thing and he's dressed like a genie. That'd be amazing.
No, it's real life. He passed away recently.
Oh yeah, he did. Yeah, that sucks.
I was really sad about that.
Yeah. Yep. But not Randy, but the guy that played the genie. I forget his name. Anyway, so that happened Monday. This is Thursday, and they revealed a bunch of stuff, and today was the actual pre-order for some of that stuff, and we're going to talk about all of that. But before we get into that, I want to touch a base on something else that we talked about, which was the Playmates reissues of the 87 figures. We don't have any there was photographic evidence, but I didn't pull it in. But just to let you know, they're showing up at Walmarts and Targets, or not Targets, but Walmarts, and I think Toys R Us in Canada are getting them now. And it's the four turtles, regular Playmates turtles from back in the day, and the Party Wagon that's on the shelves. Then they're also they're reissuing their classics versions of the figures, which came out probably I don't know, 8 years ago. They had the articulated fingers. They were okay, but they had a lot of wonky paint jobs. They're coming out in 2-packs, and I think the only one that I've been seeing pictures of is Leonardo and Rocksteady, I believe. And so that's hitting stores now. So be on the lookout for that if that's your thing. I'm probably going to pick up the Playmates reissues because that card art is just gorgeous. And so that's what I'm aiming for. But as far as things that are on the horizon, Ryan, let's see if I got my stuff right. All right, I think we do. I think we're ready. We got some reveals. So here we go. Let's head on over to the Turtle Soup news television, if you will. So here, let's see if we can get
turn
there.
That thing on.
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
Oh, there we go.
It's a tube. Oh man, I tell you what, that was warmed right up. Normally, tube TV's got to like warm up, and
that's true.
Like, wait a minute, and everything.
Right.
But now, I mean, look at this.
Look at this.
Now, it's perfect.
So, forgive me, I forgot to get the names of the hosts for this panel. I believe I stole these photos from thefoosh.com, and which is a great toy website and everything. So if you're looking for like news on toys and stuff, that's the place to go. And I do know that this guy and a guy we'll see later on do work for NECA, and they are like, they're in the know. So and now they're letting us in the know, Ryan, because we get this is what they mentioned last week as the unmasking of a character, and I think you nailed this one.
Oh, there you go.
I think you nailed it. So Casey Jones unmasked, holding it just with his long fingers, which should be extremely long if he's going to rub Abel's shoulders.
I am satisfied with the finger length on that Casey Jones. It should. Now we don't know about scale. You know what I'm saying? We don't know how it's going to fit Judith.
Yeah, we don't know yet, but.
I feel fairly confident based on that index finger length.
Right, exactly.
That'd be pretty good.
Yeah, me too. So, and he looks great. I'm probably gonna skip on it.
That face is like photoreal.
Yeah,
that's like really good.
Yeah, it is really good. And I'm not the biggest fan of the movie stuff. Like this is for the Turtles movie 1, hands down one of my favorite films of all time. Like just. Yes. In general, just so good. So I do love it in that regard. So I have the masked version, and that one's okay with me. I was never that big of a I need the head sculpt or like the face sculpt. That was never a big thing.
But you want Ernie Reyes Jr. head for your other turtles, but you don't care about this beautiful likeness. Boy, Elias Codius is what
there are some exceptions that I do make, and Ernie Reyes Jr. will probably be an exception. Okay. The headless or the unmasked version of him.
Just keep praying.
That's what I'm doing. So moving on, we have a picture of the back of Shredder's cape, this is from movie 2, Secret of the Ooze. And
I like that a lot. That is way better than the black garbage bag from the first movie.
That's true.
And it looks really good.
It does. And I don't know. I never thought I'd be real tempted by a cape, but here we are, and now I'm having second thoughts about whether or not I want to spend my money on it.
Don't question it.
I'm trying not to, because this is neat. Apparently, they had to do a ton of digging to try to figure out what the design was on his cape, because that's one of those things that back in the day you're making these movies and you don't think about this stuff. You just do it. And so yeah, but this looks really neat, and it's again a Shredder reissue, but there were some notable changes. Like his helmet was different, like it had more looked like more saw blades and stuff, because he was making his stuff from the dump. He was getting all of his materials from that. Well, another key feature of that movie are the dandelions. That's what that is, right? That's a dandelion, right? I can't remember. I always forget that's a dandelion or not. But anyway, this is the thing, the giant, flower that they basically get the ooze from and stuff, and that's what the doctor does. And in the show, the doctor, the scientist. I guess scientists are doctors, right? So
he should be a doctor, hopefully. I mean, I don't know. I mean, Shredder got a lot of money.
He doesn't. So who knows?
That might be Mr. Doctor.
Mr. Doctor. Yeah. But this, oh man, you got just that little bit of encouragement that you just threw out there right then, just got me, and now I'm man, this does look so good, and oh man, that's really good.
It looks really good. I know these are the pro paint sculpts. This is and the lighting's perfect, and I know all those things are happening.
Yeah, it's totally staged.
They look really, really good. I mean, they're not in hand, but they look fantastic. I mean, here you've got your Shredder in is kind of purple kind of gi or setup. Not really a key, but what I mean. His purple outfit. It looks really good. It looks really good. It always kind of bugs me, and this is just from too much model painting models.
Right.
Is sometimes when you have a figure that's like mainly like metallic, right? Like Shredder is.
Yeah.
I really like sometimes like just the kind of the gray plastic, right? That's like supposed to be steel. Like, it's kind of weird. I would be really tempted to repaint that with like a true metallic paint.
Yeah,
like,
that'd be sick.
That's just like, it just looks like it wants to be actually metallic and not like necessarily like gray plastic.
But
I understand that there's constraints and stuff like that. And like,
oh yeah,
at some point you have enough figures that have gray plastic for steel. I mean, like, it becomes kind of like the standard, right?
Absolutely.
Like,
yeah.
And the whole sound, it's the whole thing where like, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. For like you're saying, like, yeah, it does look like it would just do like, you could probably do wonders with this thing. But like, yeah, for a like mass market release, it looks fantastic still. Like, I mean, it's
it looks great,
fairly good. And then another thing that's really great. If you weren't sick of Shredder yet, we're getting another Super Shredder. So I think this makes the second Super Shredder that we're receiving. This is a Walmart exclusive, and it's gonna be a lot more. He's supposed to have like a more mutated look to him, and he's definitely gonna have. The one thing they talked about was his belt, that they accentuated it a little bit more, and I'm like, this is cool, and I believe the base is actually gonna.
Well, the muscles already look like he's straight out of an Image comic.
Absolutely,
so, I mean, that's an upgrade.
Absolutely, it totally does.
So from the picture that we have here, which is like obviously one staged kind of photo, like lit very well, and then one in hand from one of the NECA employees, one of the creators, looks like we've got some actually like really good deep purple wash in between those muscles. It doesn't seem like that's lighting. And that goes a long way for me, as you know, if you've listened to any of our toy reviews or anything like that. Like, I'm absolutely geeked out when good wash technique becomes part of the paint app, like in a figure like this, because it makes everything about it.
Absolutely,
it makes everything about it better. And the muscle detail and what you can see from everything laid into the it's just good lighting. The paint colors are also like that purple. It looks really good. Like,
oh yeah, and like that base is supposed to be like an accessory. Like, that's supposed to be coming, if I'm not mistaken. Like, from what I heard, that's coming with it. So that might
amazing.
be a deal breaker for me. I might have to get that again, because that I already have one of the.
Good.
Yeah, and it's sick. I mean, it looks good, and I also think that it's based. There's some more things that are because there was a ton of because I'm not the biggest vintage toy like nerd. Like, I love toys, but like I don't know all the different variants and all that stuff. But apparently, Super Shredder got like at least 3 that I know of variants, like back in the day, and they've already released 2 of them, and I think this is the 3rd one that's going to be based on that extra or that 3rd variant, and it looks fantastic. They also said that more movie figures are on the way, so and I thought, I could be mistaken, I don't think that I have a picture of it, but I want to say they showed a picture of Danny, or excuse me, Dan. It's Dan now.
It's just Dan now.
Yeah, and the in his is it the Sid Vicious shirt that we haven't seen, or was it the I forget what the other shirt was, but whichever shirt he's not wearing in the Loot Crate.
We've seen the Sid shirt.
Okay, so then it's the other shirt that he's wearing in the movie. I could be mistaken, because I think Farmer Greg showed me like the video. Like, I went to his house and watched the whole thing, like the live stream that they did. And I want to say that was in there. I just don't have a picture of it for some reason. But that is one of the characters that they're going to make one way or the other eventually, because it looks like they're making everybody. So anyway, that's that. Now we're moving on to the cartoon, the animated series stuff, Ryan. We got Anthrax and Scumbug. And now we've seen these. Yeah, we've seen these guys before. They've actually already been up for pre-order, or like a couple of months ago, I think, or last month or something like that. But yeah, we've already seen them. They haven't hit stores yet, but they're on the way. And this is just them, talking about the extra accessories and whatnot. And so they look fantastic. Like, they just look so good. And
color looks really vibrant. I hope they look that good in hand.
Oh, I do too. And
yeah, because it's super vibrant.
It is. Now, the thing that I'm very excited about, is this one.
Drum roll, please.
Yeah. We got Ground Chuck.
Oh, yeah.
And Dirtbag. And so, it was funny. I was naming these earlier, and I was like, oh, so obviously the mole is Ground Chuck, and then what's the bull's name? And I couldn't think of his name, and then I remembered, no, I got him crisscrossed, and that's why I couldn't think of it. So I about had a heart attack thinking about it again. I was like, oh, am I going to get this right? So yeah. Anyway, that Dirtbag, yeah, this looks fantastic. This was a reveal, if I'm not mistaken. I do believe this is the first time seeing it, and they look great. They just, because they were in the same episode together. I'm thinking it had something with the Turtleoids, like that they. I might be getting my episodes mixed up, but nevertheless,
I can't remember that. But the two of them were definitely in the same episode.
Definitely in the same episode,
and Dirtbag to me wins the show. I've never been the biggest fan of Ground Chuck's just design.
Yeah,
like, and it's nothing against the figure here or anything like that.
Right.
I mean, just, to me, I'm like, well, but I've always loved Dirtbag, and the fact that he seems to come with like a little hole, like that you can like pop him out of.
Here we go. Check that out.
That's pretty beautiful.
That's what he does. You can detach.
That is the best. And
you can detach his legs.
Oh, you can detach. Oh,
yes, and put him in the hole like he's coming up out of the ground. Like, that is amazing.
Yeah, like, I love that. And I love the alternate hands on him too. It's really cool.
Yeah, so I am like super ecstatic about this set, and the fact that you could do that with him is just unreal. Another reveal that we got was Wingnut and Screwloose. And so these look interesting. Now, I think they look great. Like, don't get me wrong, NECA did a fantastic job with these.
Sure.
However,
you can't deny the work.
Oh no, the work is great. It's just that, like, and I know that it's cartoon accurate because, like, that's just what they do. But I'm so used to adventures and Mutanimals
that's not my adventures, Wingnut and Screwloose, though.
Right.
So like, they don't feel like they're mine.
Exactly.
Like, at all.
Yeah, they look great, but I'm gonna get them. I'm still gonna get them. But
part of the Wingnut thing that I feel like they got. I mean, I know it's cartoon accurate, but part of the Wingnut thing that they really kind of played up in Adventures that I liked a lot was the design. Was like kind of the Batman design on him, like on his colors of his outfit, and you do see some like vintage, like blue and gray Batman going on here,
right?
But it's pretty loose. But yeah, I mean, like, once again, I mean, amazing work. Love the black lining on the metal wings on Wingnut. Those are awesome.
So I forgot to get a back picture of it, but it gets even better because they have his tiny wings. You can kind of see it behind his shoulders or behind his arm.
Yeah.
But they've got like his little tiny bat wings
like his real wings. Oh, I love that.
And it just looks even better from the back, much like you and I do. And but Calipigis, if that's what. So that was
your word of the day.
It is your word of the day. And so another word of the day is colossal, Ryan. And are you ready for a colossal reveal? Because here we go.
The colossal reveal, yes.
The colossal reveal.
Let's do it.
It's the box to Chrome Dome. And so we were kind of in the same ballpark. Yeah, I was hoping for more, but like, this is still cool. So we hadn't seen the box yet.
No, it's.
And so it's it's
nice
kind
box.
of it's a nice box, and I love what they've been doing with them. If you haven't seen them for some reason, they're basically making them look like the old FHE VHS tapes.
Family Home Entertainment.
Yeah. And that's even NECA's even got their font down there. They ripped off the crayon.
Yeah, I
drawing.
love that. It's
I
in
love
the
it too.
FHE like style.
That gets me that gets me to 100 all the time. So, but yeah, this thing looks great. The box and everything, and we've seen Chrome Dome. He's giant and colossal, if you will, and this looks even better. So like, I'm really excited. That's the extra bonus to these figures, is that you get these cool box arts to display as well. So that's really neat. And then the big reveal, Ryan, was something that actually went for pre-order today, and your boy was able to actually get one. And that is okay. You sitting down? I mean, I know you are, but like, get ready, Ryan, because you're gonna get wrecked. Here you go. You ready for that? the Catwoman from Channel 6 box set. There you go, dude. That's your girl right there. Woo!
That's my girl. That's my girl right there.
Channel 6 to midnight. Here we go.
Channel 6 to midnight.
So this is a 4-figure box set with some accessories that is going to be, I don't think it gave a date yet, but it's going to be showing up at Target. But for right now, or at least today, earlier today, it was up for pre-order on the NECA store. However, the difference is that you'll get some extra accessories, which we'll talk about as we go through the pictures. But this box looks fantastic. It looks essentially like the Channel 6 building. And I love it. So inside this, you get 4 characters. You get our man Burn Thompson. And
go.
You also get
perfect
Vernon and Vernon Fenwick.
Vernon.
And those. So do you see the 2 spotlights in the back and the 2 cameras? Everybody gets some of those. Everybody gets 2 of those. If you get this.
Oh, that's pretty nice.
Yeah, that's got that kind of sealed the deal for me a little bit.
So big time.
So then we get Rat Irma, Cat April.
Yes.
We get 2 turtle versions of Vernon and Burn, and I cannot remember for the life of me what that cat's name is, and I got to look at the other picture to see if we. Oh, do I have that? I don't know if that cat comes with that or not. I think it would. I don't know why they'd have it in there if it didn't. But I cannot remember that cat's name to save my life. But yeah, that's some more stuff we get, and like they got all kinds of accessories with this. Like and you also get a regular Irma too, like the normal human version of her, which I think this is the first time we're getting Irma. Now, and then there's more of Vernon. You get different head sculpts and all this other different accessories. Nice. The one thing I will say though is that's very disappointing. If I'm not mistaken, I don't think we're gonna be able to get a swappable parts reuse of April in this set, because I was hoping they would reveal that, like, oh yeah, and if you got this, you actually get like the replacement parts to make a normal April.
Her skin tone in the tail makes it basically not reusable.
Exactly, and that's extremely unfortunate because a lot of people, including your boy, did not get the April set. Like I couldn't find it. And I don't think NECA has put it up for pre-order yet at all, the April and the Foot Soldier set that came out. But so I'm hoping they reissue that pretty soon. But nevertheless, this is still really awesome. And but as I mentioned earlier, if you pre-ordered it from the NECA store today, which I think it's already sold out, you get a poster that is that looks to be they describe it as a poster, but I can't remember if it was actual roll-up poster, if it was more of just like a display piece, because the way he's holding it kind of looks like it's a display piece, like it's a little bit firmer. And on top of that, you get a press badge with April O'Neil on it, Channel 6 News.
Oh, fantastic!
You get an acrylic pin, a Channel 6 patch, and you get a T-shirt that has a few notable characters on it. My eyes are terrible, but I see Slash and I see Irma. I think, Rex 1 is in there, and it looks like Burn Thompson. And then it looks like Bebop and
Cat April's in there.
Oh, you can see her? Okay. And then, there she is. And then Burn's girlfriend's there. And I think that's Bebop and Rocksteady in their human forms in like what looks like potato sacks or something.
Yeah, potentially. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't really know.
That looks really great. Having Irma and Rex 1 on a T-shirt. Oh, come on now.
Yeah, that got me.
That sells it to me. I mean, I'd just take that.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? Oh, yeah. So, I mean, having the whole gang, you know what I'm saying?
Even better.
And that looks like a comfy shirt.
It does. It totally does. I hope it is too.
That looks like a soft one.
Exactly.
It looks like a soft one.
And so that's what's coming in the set that was the con exclusive. And again, that's going to be in Target, but without the shirt and the badge and the patch and the pin and the poster. Those aren't going to be in the Target set. Then to round it out, we got 2 more things. They showed this photograph, which looks to be like Toka and Razor, but as we know, this would be them. We already have the movie versions of them, from movie 2. This would be their animated series appearances, which they showed up in one episode. And where they had like a food fight with the turtles or something. It was super weird. But there's that. Then the biggest thing, the biggest reveal, in my opinion, is we got this picture, Ryan, and it's pretty ominous. Like if you're just a casual fan, you might not get it, but if you know, you know, because there are only a few characters that have this kind of physique in the TMNT universe. And this is a silhouetted picture of what appears to be Mirage Fugitoid.
Yes. Your boy Fugitoid, though.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
And my understanding...
Oh, man.
Yeah, my understanding is that this is probably what they meant by the future of the TMNT license. Like, that's probably what they meant in the little thing they put out like a week ago. That's what I'm thinking that they were referencing, is that they are working on Mirage stuff, and they're going to from everything I was hearing online, they're basically going to go back and redo everything, because the figures that are out now, or the ones that originally came out back in the day, the street set and then the black and white versions, they've been bootlegged to death. And if you haven't gotten a bootleg from them, we got so we got a set of the bootlegs, and they were actually really good. Like the bootlegs where they painted the bandanas the correct colors, not correct, but corresponding colors. They were really good. And so, but they were like, so basically they're saying that they're gonna redo their the NECA turtles, or excuse me, their Mirage turtles. And that's really exciting, because with as in depth as they've been getting, and how successful this line's been.
Oh yeah, man.
The
we
cartoon.
need Triceratons, we need Utroms, we need we need to go back. You know what I'm saying?
We need them all.
Oh.
And so so that's extremely exciting, and I cannot wait to see what's going to be coming down the line with this. But yeah, so I don't know, like what do you think? I don't know. Do you have any thoughts on any of this, or like, what are you? I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, right I think it's an exciting line. I think that the April, the cat April, probably should have come with her distinctive bowl full of milk. To drink from, given that that's my favorite sequence in the whole thing. But I will say that it's great offerings. I mean, NECA continues to really like up their game as far as like just the pin washing detail and all that stuff is fantastic. I think that I'm excited for the future. So being a person that's not like, that's obviously really into turtles, but has not really taken that jump toward collecting the Mirage stuff from NECA, because it was just bootlegs, and that was kind of it, and it was kind of hard. I would be interested to see NECA going back, because that would really tempt me to get in, because I love what they've done with when they kind of came in. Remember, they came in and kind of like completed the line, right? Like you got your Shredder, you got your Foot Ninja, right? I would be about going down that road potentially with them, because their stuff looks great. The Turtles can only look better now.
Oh yeah,
like honestly, they're talking about resculpting and stuff, and I understand that, because the bootlegs and stuff, you need to get away from that, right? You need to get away from that bootleg stuff, and you need to get into something that's a lot more new, and something that they can't bootleg. So I look really forward to that. I look forward to seeing, hopefully, if they're going into Fugitoid, I can just imagine their Triceraton has to be amazing.
Oh yeah.
And even if even if they don't do stuff from the guest era, that is arguably canon, like Bloodsucker and stuff, I know that's kind of up in the air. They can at least come back to City at War, and return to New York. And they can at least do all the stuff that is obviously Mirage canon. I would love to see like a Nobody figure. I would love to see, the figure that would kind of drive me crazy would be, and I'm calling it now. I don't think they're gonna make it, but I'm calling it now that I would have like a mini stroke if I saw this. Nightmare Casey.
Oh,
Nightmare Casey from City at War. I would like, because imagine what they could do with that sculpt. Just how extreme he is. That would just be amazing. But yeah, like getting back into all that, I would love to see them dip back into Mirage. Obviously, a lot of the current lines are good. I'm not super excited about Token Razor. I never really am.
Yeah.
In any incarnation, especially the animated series interpretation of them.
Yeah, absolutely. It's. Yeah.
But they can't really be ignored because they were such a big part of the original Playmates line. You know what I mean? And I know that that's not really what NECA's job is here. But they are going back to the cartoon, and they are, let's be honest, the toys were all pipeline from that cartoon as well. Or, I mean, more probably the cartoon, a pipeline from the toy offering.
Right.
But Token Razor had about 100 figures, so I understand you can't ignore them. That Channel 6 box set looks gross, and I'm super glad you got that.
I am too. It was surprisingly...
There seems to be a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Easy?
It was surprisingly easy. Yeah, like it I don't mean that to
brag
that's
or good.
Anything, but it was like
No, that's good. That was my main problem, man.
Yeah.
Like I've talked about this before, but like, have money, want thing. Like you're making a great product. People really, really want it. You should make it. Any business should make it as easy to part you from your wallet as possible. Doing anything else is grandstanding. And is overcomplicated. So the fact that you're a collector, you're a big fan, you're able to go in there, you're an enthusiast, go in there and get it, and it felt easy is the direction that needs to go in from now on with getting a hold of any of this stuff.
Right.
It's silly. Yeah. It's just silly to create wanton confusion and bad feelings over something that people feel so good about normally.
Yeah,
so I'm glad that was easy.
Yeah, I was too. I was pleasantly surprised because I also pre-ordered the Mattel Scareglow from the new He-Man line that's coming out, and both I was able to get both surprisingly, and they were I can't remember. I think it was Mattel's that had the captcha that was like it you click on all the pictures of like the street lights or whatever, and instead of it just being like do it one time, it was like do it like 3 times, 4 times. And I think that helped alleviate some of the bots, but I do know a lot of people still had trouble getting all the stuff. So really hate that if you missed out. But thankfully, at least the set is going to come out in stores. And so that's, you still have a chance to get it. But nevertheless, yeah, I'm really excited too. I hope that I'm really hoping that somehow or another they'll be able to work out a way to get Cuddly in the line. Like, I just...
Oh, that'd be great.
Yeah, I need a Cuddly.
Well, I feel like when they get to Adventures, we'll know.
That's true.
I think that will be like groundbreaking kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Whoever really starts mining that and really starts like getting into that, because there's so much fun stuff you could do with Adventures.
Absolutely.
The only like kind of like fear I have about it is that a lot of people don't know about it, and to sell figures. You make figures based off things people have nostalgia for, and things people that people really enjoyed when they were younger. And there were a lot of Adventures readers, but your average person doesn't know about it.
That's true.
I mean, we're big Turtle fans, and we didn't know much about Adventures before we started doing this podcast. So
exactly.
But if you could,
exactly. Yeah.
Like for example, if some brave soul at Nickelodeon at Viacom, some brave soul decided we're gonna not worry about the current cartoon. Don't even worry about it. We're gonna redo it after the anime movie comes out, and we've wiped the page and we've turned the page. If one of you people are not cowards and you have the strength and resolve and heart to make Adventures into a cartoon,
right,
and base off it,
just
people will know about it.
Absolutely.
And then you solve the problem.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? There is so much to mine, and you have the opportunity to continue telling that story further.
Right.
And it's Adventures is such a conscientious
there you go.
And such an aware comic for its time.
Mm-hmm.
You could really do so much more of it now.
Oh yeah.
And
totally.
that's how you get your TMNT figures, right? I mean, that's how we close the loop. You want people to get into it, you got to make it. You know what I'm saying? And then the figures will follow. You know what I'm saying? I think Ben Franklin said that.
I think he did. I think he totally did. So that's the Turtle Toy News for this day, this week, whatever. So there you go. And but anytime if you want to get all the news and everything, definitely keep checking here at Turtle Soup on the YouTube channel and turtlesoup.com. and the Facebook group, Turtle Soup Show. Just look for us there, where we'll be posting all this stuff, and we'll keep you up to breast. So come on down to the Turtle Soup.
Up to breast. We'll keep you there.
Yep, we'll keep you there. All right.
Right up under here.
Oh, my goodness. All right, let's get back
there. Keep you up to it.
All right, let's get back to the Prime side. All right, and we're back from the news.
Welcome back. So I don't want to add any pressure. I don't want to add any pressure to you.
Okay.
But I believe Adam Winters is watching right now. I'm just saying.
Oh, I saw that. Hi, Adam. Yeah.
What's up, Adam?
So we're gonna talk about the comics in a minute. But we do have some emails. Now, do we have any other emails, or do we have this very special email?
So, all right. So we have the accompanying. So this is from Mike Hatfield. Mike, we've been trying to get this thing on the show. You know what I'm saying? Your boy Eric, he put in the hours. You know what I'm saying? And I believe that now we do have the technology to make him better, make him different, and to fix it.
Yeah,
we have it. So we're gonna play the video that Mike Hatfield, our lovely Australian correspondent, put together. But he wrote an email as well. It goes something like this. He says, "Greetings from Australia. Breaking news. As part of my formal responsibilities as a Turtle Soup correspondent, I recently visited my local Pizza Hut to check out the TMNT mutagen sauce promotion. He then tells us that there's a video, and I'm like, when I saw that, I was like,
yep, 6 to midnight. Video. There we go.
It says, no pressure. You can use it on the pod. I'm like, well, that means I'm going to do that. And then he says, P.S. Love the New Zealand special episode. That refers to the live in Auckland thing we did, where we talked about their show, their kind of morning show technique and how different it was. And I think during the show, you and I both probably at some point called upon Mike Hatfield to let us know, like, did you guys have this in Australia? Because y'all are kind of like continent island neighbors, but like,
right.
Was that a thing that y'all also had? And he says, love the New Zealand special episode. Pretty hilarious hearing your thoughts about the Australia-New Zealand region. Australia and New Zealand are kind of like brothers who like to tease each other, so I loved hearing your attempt at their horrible accents. The best way to dial in their accent is by saying fish and chips, pronounced foosh und choops, which I'm not doing right, but that's how he spelled it.
Foosh and
in Australia, we definitely... Yeah. In Australia, we definitely never had this show, so it was interesting to hear about this hidden treasure. Else time, Mike Hatfield. Oh, they're like, fish and chips, fish and chips. I can't do the Kiwi accent very well.
Yeah, no.
I rely on Fly of the Conchords to teach me that. They didn't do a very good job, apparently.
They did not.
Although it's a great show.
It is.
So that is Mike's email. And now we have what is hopefully going to be
a
presentation of his well-produced video on the matter.
Oh, yeah.
Take it away.
Here we go. Let's try it.
Take it away. See what I say? Take it away. You just do it. Yeah.
Correspondent. Kevin Eastman recently posted on social media, for those of you in Australia, you can now get your pizza and wings with nuclear green mutagen ranch sauce, LOL. As your man down under, I thought I'd take the responsibility of checking out this Aussie exclusive and reporting back to the soup. It's been a while since I've been inside of a Pizza Hut. When I was a kid, there was Pizza Huts all over the place. However, now this is my closest store with about a 25-minute drive from my house. I looked up on the internet, there's only 270 Pizza Huts in all of Australia, which compared to the USA, you guys have got 6,678 stores. Maybe a fair comparison would be to Domino's Australia. We have approximately 700 Domino's, and if we look at the burger universe, then we have approximately 970 McDonald's. Today I've ordered the Michelangelo Mutagen Hawaiian. It also comes in Donatello Mutagen Cheese Lover, Raphael Mutagen Barbecue Meat Lover, Leonardo Mutagen Pepperoni Lover, and Splinter Mutagen Supreme. However, I did notice at the counter for $1 extra, you can apply mutagen sauce to any pizza. As an interesting side note, the website has a disclaimer that mutagen ranch is not actually toxic and is 100% free of artificial colors and flavors. Okay, well, the app says the pizza's ready, so let's get my pizza.
I love that.
Okay, here it is. We've just picked it up from the counter. What does it look like? Wow. It's really, really green.
That is so green.
Yep, it looks like something that you would find in a sewer. There's a heap of green goo on here ruining my pizza. Alrighty. Let's have a taste.
Alright, one bite. Everyone knows the rules. He's fighting it.
He is. It's hard work.
It's hot. The sauce. Yeah, I mean, it is green ranch sauce on a pizza. Ranch is not really popular in Australia. I don't know if I've ever had ranch sauce before. I know in America it's very common.
It is.
So an interesting choice. I like it, but it probably is. Probably just green stuff ruining a good pizza. I would give this 2.5 out of 5. Group mutations. Warm greetings from Australia to all of Super Nation. Else time.
Oh my god.
My goodness. Oh my goodness.
2.5 out of 5 group mutations. That is. Oh my god. Okay, so Mike, thank you so much for the gift of that.
Yes.
That was absolutely fantastic.
That was. And shout out on the MXPX hat. So word up on that.
Yeah, no, I saw that. I thought you would like that.
I did.
Dude, Mike, that's amazing. I love the production value of that. I love the fast food breakdown. That wasn't necessary.
Yeah.
That wasn't needed.
I was not ready
for y'all. Like,
he did.
I was about that.
He did it for us.
Yes.
Like, I was not ready for a graph or like any kind of graphic. Like in numbers.
Yes.
Like that was insane. And then what was the McDonald's McCabe's? Like that wasn't it? It didn't say McDonald's. It said something else for the McDonald's one. But it was the logo.
I thought it said McDonald's.
But it says MACCA or something like that, Macca's or something. But yeah, those group mutations, goodness, Mike, just above and beyond.
Oh man. And also putting his body on the line.
Oh,
straight.
Yeah.
Try that mutagen ranch sauce, just sight unseen. Like let's just go. Like now, I'm eating this in the car.
Yeah, that's insane. But yeah, we like you said, that is a thing here in America, ranch. I for one put ranch on my pizza. Sometimes not necessarily always on it, but sometimes definitely like for like a dipping sauce for the breadstick at the end or whatever however you want to do it. I don't know, but the green stuff, like I can't, like I know in the comments, John Clemens was saying that it straight up looks like toothpaste on pizza, and he's not wrong. Like it does, and but then again, I was never that guy or that person that could do the whole variation on food like colorings. Like I could never do like green ketchup. Like that was so weird to me. Like I just couldn't do it. And so this is something similar to that, and it's very bizarre. But I'm very glad that you did that for us, Mike. And
so Adam asks, is this the mutagen that powers you up, or just transforms you into half of whatever plant or animal you were most recently in contact with?
Oh,
I feel like Okay, so I feel like I don't know which one. If it just powers you up, I personally don't think Mike Hatfield would notice the difference because he's always powered up.
He's already
out there saving lives like every day in Australia, man.
He's already in 11.
Australia's trying to kill you, much like Florida's trying to kill you at all moments.
Absolutely,
Australia's also always trying to kill you. So he might not notice the power up. Does a dead animal count as the last thing you touched? Because
that's what I was going to say.
If it's got meat, I feel like you're going to have a whole lot of Australian half pig, half people like happening, right?
Or the cheese. So the animal doesn't have to be dead necessarily, but the cheese from the whatever, if it's goat cheese or cow cheese, whatever. I don't know what they call cheeses.
Yeah, but see, okay, so if you get into the thing, I always thought that like if you get into it, I think it has to be living. I think the caveat has to be living because, like, if you are going to try to pseudoscience the mutagen at all, I mean, you've really got to try. Is that you have like active like DNA from that thing on you that's like alive. That like when the mutagen interacts with you, it takes some of that, takes some of you, and it makes it right. And there cannot be living DNA, like on that, like in that pepperoni or whatever. But see, but then you start thinking too deep about it. You're like, well, I mean, there's living DNA in like the bacteria, right? And then
that's true.
That's on it. So then like everyone would be half bacteria, half man.
That's what I was gonna say. Yes.
But if it is, Adam, if it is the kind that takes you half and half,
that's like
I feel like if everybody in the world just automatically got exposed to mutagen and they became half of whatever, everyone would be half dogs or half cats.
Absolutely, yes.
Right. I mean, I feel like suddenly the whole world would just be half dog, half cat.
Right.
People, basically, like that's just all it would be. Like you have like random bird people and be like, oh, you have birds? And they're like, yes, and you're like, oh, okay, that's weird. Like,
and then you have the iguana people, like the reptile people.
Oh,
and so you're gonna have
you're
that.
right. There'd be some. You have the iguana people. You have like some hamster kids running around. You know what I mean?
And fish,
some rabbit kids.
Some definite fish kids.
Well, see, you don't touch fish very often though.
Oh, you're right. They have them, but they don't touch
Wouldn't
them.
That be the saddest? Wouldn't that be the saddest? If like you were the person that had like you're all like have a big ass aquarium, you spend like $10,000 on like a saltwater aquarium as big as like one wall of your house, and when you get mutated, you just like kind of power up because you didn't ever touch the fish.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Or like
like that would
you know
be
what I mean?
the worst.
That'd be really obnoxious. So you'd be like, man, like bird guy's bird man now, and iguana guy's iguana man now, but I'm man now because like I don't touch my. Sorry, I don't touch them. They're saltwater fish. Like I don't know.
But like, hopefully, it's more like animated series mostly mutations and not Playmates mutations. Because if it's like a cross between like you get a wing and a hand, like you're not going to be doing much with any of that.
No, I'm only hoping for legitimate mutations here. I can't do the asymmetric mutation.
Yeah,
dude. No. If I'm trying to think of the last animal I touched, and it would be my parents' dog, their golden retrievers. The last animal I touched. I'm pretty sure.
I could see you mixed with a golden retriever.
But let me tell you what, if I had one golden retriever leg and one Ryan leg, that'd be it.
Right. That'd be it.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like we need to go into another plane of existence because I can't be asymmetric. like bro, when I eat cereal or I eat like chips, like everything has to be even numbers.
Do you eat it with two hands?
Or popcorn?
Like
no.
Like that symmetrical or no? Or
no, like the number like
the number you have.
If I'm eating cereal, the amount of cereal in my spoon has to be an even number, divisible by 2. And so I feel like if I look down and I'm like, well, that leg is a dog leg.
Right.
And that leg is a human leg with like metal on it. I'd be like, I'm not interested in living anymore.
No.
I can't do the Playmates. Like if it's Playmates, I'm out. Like I'm out.
Right. So
I'm out.
So real quick in the chat, Adam Winters is saying you got to go with ranch if you do bacon chicken with hot peppers, which I do, and that is usually my pizza. So
chicken bacon ranch is like kind of like that. That should be Eric's initials. Like you should change your name to whatever would be CBR. I don't know what you got to do.
Why can't I just be called chicken bacon ranch like that? Just Eric CBR Crosby. There you go.
Chris Bob Rossello. I don't know what you got to do, but you got to like make it work. I don't know.
John Clemens says,
if you try to think of names,
yeah,
go ahead.
I was just gonna say, John Clemens says, not gonna lie, Raph barbecue meat with ranch sounds dope AF. So yeah, there you go. Yeah, they don't sound bad.
I feel like Raph. Yeah, the only downside I'm gonna say is like Raph barbecue word, right?
Yeah, barbecue pizza
but
all day.
Raph should be spicy though.
Oh yeah,
because
I agree.
Spicy like buffalo stuff tastes good with ranch too. Now, it's better with blue cheese, but if this was like a buffalo chicken pizza with ranch, like,
oh yeah,
there you go.
Oh yeah, that's the ticket right there. Goodness,
he's cool. He's cool but rude.
He's cool but rude.
And
right,
that's cool ranch, right? And then the rude, the buffalo. You know what I mean? Why wasn't I in this conversation?
Why weren't we consulted? Goodness. Oh man. Well, Mike, again, thank you so much for sending that video. Like that was
yes,
like Mike, to have that on our show. Legend. It made me feel so good.
You named a sea turtle after us.
Right.
You made us the video. You're like the best ever, dude. Thanks a lot for that. And
Thank you so much.
if any of you Turtletarians are looking to put your body on the line,
I mean,
like your boy Mike did, and you want to drop a video,
like he set the bar.
Man, if it's up to Mike's standard, we play it. You know what I'm saying? Just
absolutely.
So like, make it happen. I would love to have like one of those an episode. That would just fill my heart.
It would. Likewise.
If I had one golden retriever leg and one Ryan leg covered in metal, Colossus metal, but I had a video every week,
right?
I'd be like, I think I can go on. You know what I mean? Like, I think I can make it. I've got something to believe in.
Right, there you go.
You know what I'm saying?
Something to live
I got
for.
something to believe in. But yeah, thanks a lot, Mike, again. And yeah, man, bar set, y'all. You know what I'm saying? He threw down the gauntlet. So
he did. It's up there.
Get ready.
Get ready.
So speaking of getting ready, are you ready to get into these actual mangas? You know what I'm saying?
I am.
Adam, you gotta weigh in. Adam, you gotta tell if you say it manga or manga, because I'm gonna go with you. You know what I'm saying? I never know which way I want to say it.
Right.
But since Adam got those raws,
that's true.
Adam, manga or manga, and then we're gonna go like that.
Are these comics? Like, I want to know both.
Oh, they're technically comics, aren't they?
I don't know.
Yes.
I don't know. I don't fully know, but we have an authority with us, so like maybe we can get some light on this.
It's Dengeki Comics, right?
Right.
Is
precisely.
The publisher's name?
Right. Yeah. So that's. But I still want to know the answer to both. I want to know the answer to both. But let's.
I'm a little laid up right now about that. I don't know. About that.
Well, here, think about it while I do the sign.
Oh yes.
Oh goodness! There
My
we are.
Goodness, everybody, here we are.
Oh.
So just before we get into this comic, we have Adam Winters in the chat, who is a member of the Optical Internet Translation Gang.
Mm-hmm.
And
yes.
I hope I said those words in the right order. And Adam just, when asked whether it's manga or manga, he just said, "I try not to speak it in public."
There you go. That's probably the best
that's
answer.
the best way to
that's
do it.
But
unfortunately, Adam, I can't do that. I'm on the podcast. You know what I'm saying? Like,
we don't have that luxury.
I'm stuck.
Right.
It's a comic, boys. That's what we're doing. It's a comic in the Japanese style.
There you go. Make everybody happy.
This is the Mutant Turtles Gaiden. You know what I'm saying? This is from December of 1995. This was published by Dengeki Comics.
Mm-hmm.
We've reviewed some of their stuff before. Once again, before we get into the story, really, got to give a big shout out to the people that made this possible. This was part of like an internet project brought together by the Optical Internet Translation Gang. Once again, this is Mutant Turtles Gaiden Chapter 3. And the credits here go. Editor, Cleaning and Bubbles is Cryomancer. Translation, Mark Pellegrini. And raw provider, Adam Winters. Once again, I believe these are still openly available on the internet. And you should really check them out because they're really interesting and very strange.
To say the least.
So we once again, I believe the only way these were published, and I might be wrong here, but the images provided seem to come from a book, like a collection. This is technically issue 3, but it's a chapter, right?
Right.
So with the first issue, we had kind of a full color, cover, okay, and it's very similar to the full cover art that we saw in the previous Dengeki Comics Turtles run. However, for these issues, we kind of have the landing page. What could have been a cover if it was originally released in individual issues. What could have been a cover, but it's been rendered into black and white. So this story is entitled "The Strongest Weapon, the Devil's Monster." And what do you think about this? What do you think about this landing page? Not necessarily a cover.
Not necessarily a cover.
Page, Eric.
Okay, so the Turtles are probably my least favorite of all the stuff in these 4 issues that we've read so far. In regards to how they're drawn, like as Ninja Turtles, and this is one of the few times that I actually like the majority of them. Michelangelo looks really cool. Raphael steals the show in my opinion with the way he's holding his sai. Anytime you want to get me 6 to midnight, like have Raphael holding his sais in a different way,
non-traditional,
precisely. Yes. And my favorite is the I guess if he has the 3 fingers that he puts he holds it like it's a brass knuckle almost, to where one finger is on the actual like grip part and the other one is on the
like two fingers are across the tines and then one's wrapped around.
Yeah. So
that's a great way to use it.
If he punches you with it, he's punching you with the tine. And it was in that it was that way in Out of the Shadows, I believe, the PlayStation 3 or 4
game. In the game, yeah.
And he ran that. I think any toy I can get him in that pose, that's what he's doing. If he's not picking his teeth with it, and so. He looks great. Leo looks a little strange. Like I don't really like him. And Donatello looks great, but he looks like he's playing pool. But that's kind of like you could only do so many poses with a bow staff. But overall, I think this is really neat. It looks good. It's black and white, but like it gets the point across. John Clemens in the chats was saying that they look a little thick and too much mutagen ranch on their pizza, and
maybe a little too much mutagen ranch. Yeah,
maybe a little bit. I mean, just a touch.
It sounds like it looks like they last touched themselves. if we're tracking by like that makes you half of what you are and half of that and the last thing you touched.
It
sounds like, you know what I mean.
Sounds like a little bit of self love.
They're just it's a little too wrath. You know what I'm saying? John Clemens also says, "What's wrong with Leo's arm?" And I'll be honest, he's got a surprise for you, John.
Oh my goodness,
it's back there, and who knows?
And we've already seen some surprises from these turtles the last couple of issues.
Yes, the hand strikes, and gives a flower. It's pretty great. So, getting into it, so we remarked last time, just a little, so basically. This is Dengeki Comics kind of doing their own, like they're like we're gonna kind of take your like animated series origin, but we're also just gonna openly kind of like refute that and kind of make our own thing. So the origin for these guys is a little different. You have Splinter and the Turtles meeting April for the first time in the first couple issues. You have the fact that the Turtles have not yet confronted Splinter or Shredder. I'm sorry. In Splinter's name, okay, like for the vengeance. Also, we see that Splinter was already an old man when he is beaten by Shredder, and I guess Shredder thought he was dead. Maybe he like firebombed the apartment and thought, yeah, you're done.
Right.
But obviously, Hamato Yoshi survived to become Splinter. But weirdly enough, Shredder does know the name Splinter, also.
Right.
So he recognizes him on sight as Splinter. And in other versions of this, like I believe in IDW, like there is a bit of a moment where Shredder has to like look at Splinter and be like, "Oh, damn, it's Matayoshi." Like there's like a moment where he has to kind of figure it out. Here he like sees Splinter, he's like, "Ah, Splinter, damn it." And he's like, "Okay." So it's a little wavy where it comes to that, but I do like a bit of an alternate reality origin story for how things that seem to take place mainly in the animated series, the 87 animated series, kind of spin-off world, their take on it. So that kind of brings us up to present, where Shredder did steal a large diamond. Krang is in this comic, and he wants to come over from Dimension X, and that is what Shredder is up to. He stole a rather large diamond and got away with it. And we did remark last time that we did feel like it was kind of cool to see The Turtles kind of bailing April out and bailing themselves out, but like Shredder was still accomplishing his goals, right?
Absolutely.
And that moves straight into where we're going with this comic. So effectively what you have is some amazing artwork, and I really want to focus on the first page here because, like, Jesus, the art is ridiculous. So you see Shredder kind of like in front of some insane device that is emitting a ton of power, and these images of Shredder are fantastic, and it shows what you can do with Duo Shade. Like,
absolutely.
this is the stuff right here, man. This is the essence. Like, such excellent use of hashing on Shredder's plates and armor. Once again, his kind of weird Phantom of the Opera mask. Like, I don't hate it right now.
Yeah, no, it looks
like
great.
Just the way it looks. And it's this page is brilliant and pretty much goes to stand. This comic vacillates a bit between this level of detail and then being a lot looser. It feels like you see it's a lot. Happens a lot in comics. If you really start paying attention, there are pages that the penciler and inker both get together and go, this page is going to be amazing, right?
Right.
Then there's pages that like tell the story and they're a little more simple. So it does vacillate a little bit back and forth, but this page is just an excellent example of this.
Yes, and it's also it's kind of exemplified in the anime One Punch Man a little bit. Like, you have moments where he looks like hardcore, like super serious, like anime, like just
thousands of hours per minute of like animation style. Yeah,
and then you just have like, and it's mostly in his face, and then you just have the simple. Like where he's like calm and he's just doing nothing, and he looks there's very little detail, and that's the fact that the Japanese artist can vacillate freely between those two things in the same medium within the same actual book is one of my favorite things, because it literally. I think what it does, because I think in America a lot of times we have a hard time doing that because we think we're dumber than what we are, and that's arguable. But we dumb things down for children very often because we don't think they can understand things. But I think it's the opposite. I think this makes my imagination run wild when I see like such like hyper detail, and then whenever for the funny, lighthearted stuff or like the emotional stuff, like. It's simpler, like that just evokes so much in me, and I love it and like, I know I'm like waxing a little bit on this, but like
go for it, man.
It super endears me to this stuff, and like that's what I loved about like anime and manga and stuff that like that is exemplified here, and this book has gotten better as we've gone along. Like, this is issue 3, and it's like this is really good work. So yeah, I'm right there with you.
It really is. It really is. Also, Adam Winters checks in with I do kind of like to think of it like mango. So I'm going to go with the manga. Because, he's the closest one I've got.
There you
go. Okay, yeah, because like everybody that doesn't like have like the problem is like if you don't read a lot of it, you probably don't have like a solid like you say it like this.
Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
So I'm like, well.
Yeah. That's true.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just in America. I put a ranch on everything. You know what I mean? Like, what do you want?
That's what we do.
Yeah. So the storyline of this comic, I mean, honestly, kind of flows really fast. I feel like focusing on the art actually is like the most important thing about the book itself. So what you have is the Turtles kind of of course in this panel, Shredder is basically like on his plan. It is the I'm going to conquer the world plan. From before. You know what I'm saying? So you have the Turtles back in the lair, and of course they're just trying to puzzle out. Like, they haven't heard anything from Splinter or from Shredder in a bit. They're like, what's going on? And they're talking about that in between this book and the next book, or the last book in this book, there was a robbery at a nuclear power plant.
Right.
And and of course they're like, why would they want to a nuclear power plant? I don't understand. And then of course Splinter's like, my God, he's like, look, man. Like, you don't have to worry necessarily about like what he's doing. The fact that he's not doing anything is him getting in your head.
Yeah.
And he loves you just sitting here like, what's he gonna do next? So go find him.
Right.
And he basically shouts at him. And just once again, I mean, you can see the detail styling, right? I mean, like you can see it right here. I mean, top panels were line drawings of the turtles. Middle panel, it is a high detail resolution of Splinter. You know, and that is the style they flow between that I really like. And we talked before that in Japanese art often they do use that also as a way to show levity. Yes. And then drama, right? Like you were talking about. And this is a great example of that happening in one panel or one page between, 4 panels, it happening back and forth. And it's pretty cool. So he sends them out to go run down these guys. Cause like, we got to go find Shredder. Cause like, why not? Right. Coming back into the nuclear power plant. You know what I'm saying? You got April interviewing a scientist saying like, why would they want to do the thing? Because didn't you say it was, they're like part of some superconductive coil? And he's like, yes. But the big problem is that they didn't take the programming for the part, you see, because that's still in the computer. Right. And you realize, like, in my head, I'm like, well, like, it's still, I mean, you have a copy of it. But then you realize, it's probably on like a bunch of discs. Like,
back in the day. Oh, yeah.
You see what your boy's leaning up against? You see all those discs?
Yep.
That's probably the programming. You know what I'm saying? But like, it's funny because we grew up in this era when we did. To install Wolfenstein 3D took like 12 discs, right? Just for that game.
Oh yeah, I remember Doom, getting Doom, and even just the shareware, like just the basically trial version of it was like 12 discs, and
it was. And I remember I got them in a plastic. I got them in a gallon freezer bag from a friend. And it was the id like shareware program. And it was free. Right. And he's like, "Here, man, give them back." And like the outside of this, the outside of this freezer bag, bro, was so scuffed from all these people like borrowing it. Right. You couldn't see the actual discs. Oh really. My lord! It was like wild. Frosted almost with just wear. Yeah. And I remember being like, "Cool, man." And it was a pile of discs. Like they weren't even in like a thing. And I had to I laid them all out on my desk, like 1, 2, 3, 4, like all in an order, so I could install them. You know what I mean? And you realize that's what your boy's kicking back on some hard 5-inch discs. Like the program is right in here, boys. Yep. So, but it's so funny how even though we grew up in that time, you look at now. I'm like, why? Because it's on your computer. He can't steal it. It's like the discs are behind him. But anyway, he's like, we still have the operating program, and he never took it. And April's like, well, that's funny. Cut back to Shredder. So mad. Shredder's like, you didn't take the discs? You know what I'm saying? And your boy Rocksteady's like, oh, man, nah, it was Bebop's fault, but I'm going to still apologize. And great, once again, great, like the drama and then the humor here is really great. With Shredder effectively just being like, fix it. I'll fix it. And Shredder's like, well, I'm coming too. And that's important for what comes next. Oh, yeah. So up high, the turtles are in the turtle blimp hanging out, being as inconspicuous as absolutely possible. Oh, yeah. You know what I mean? Like, we saw this before. Why not just hide in the sky on blimp thing? Exactly. And that's what they're doing. Once again, just love the neat city artwork. I know it's just minimal with just buildings, but I really like it. Oh, yeah. And they're running around, and they're kind of talking about, like, the diamond and now the nuclear thing. And just for whatever reason, like they just can't get it. Like they're like, I don't understand why. And effectively they're like, well, I guess we need to find somebody who knows why. Right? Right. Yeah. So back to the nuclear power situation. Turns out right when April asks, like, hey man, you think they're gonna come back maybe? Your boy Shredder comes rolling up on, I guess it's this universe's version of like a topside transport module. Right. This thing looks insane.
It looks like it looks almost like a one of the neutrinos hot rod cars, but if it had the drills like on both sides and tank treads and a mouth.
And if it was alive.
And if it was alive. Yeah. Like the last thing it touched was like some sort of shark or monster or something. And it looks like a hot rod drill car that is insane, and I love it, and the artwork is so good. Shredder looks so cool, and
I'm so glad from the first issue that they went back to the style book and fixed stuff. So I'm so glad that Shredder has the two claws. They are still long. They're definitely Wolverine length. They're not like his normal like kind of 3-inch, 4-inch blades.
Right.
I'm still cool with that. But I'm glad they went back to the style book and kind of fixed everybody up, because this image would look way different if he wasn't correct, right?
Exactly.
But he looks absolutely fantastic.
And he just yells, "Give me the operating program!" Like,
I mean, give me the operating program. You know what I'm saying? I mean, he's a man of simple desires.
He,
at the end of the day,
he is. I love
it. I mean? He just wants the programs.
I love when villains have to like do things themselves, and they have to like get like. It's one of those things that like you didn't think Shredder would ever say, "Give me the operating program," but like he has to say it because that's what that's the key component that he needs. I don't know. Yes. I just like that juxtaposition of like something so like just I don't know if I'm articulating this correctly by any means, but it's just so funny just seeing that character say something like that. Just I don't know. But anyway.
Yeah, he's like, give me the operating program. He comes in real hot. You know what I'm saying?
He does.
Then he knows it's April, and he's like, "Well, that's cool. Gimme." So Rocksteady goes to work on that. They kind of abduct April. The turtles up in the turtle blimp see a nuclear power plant under attack, and they're like, "Well, that's convenient because that just happened a while ago. So let's go fix on that." So they hop in, cowabunga time. Problem is, action's over. You know what I'm saying? You've got the same scientist who is freaking out about seeing Shredder. You see him not be so cool with seeing the turtles either.
Yeah.
Then he begins foaming at the mouth and falls down.
Yeah. Like,
and that looks like dead.
That looks like dead.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it looks like dead. In a normal comic, I would be like, normal comic. In a comic that didn't take the turns of humor that like the Japanese style kind of like brings to it.
Right.
In an American comic, I would go, "Oh, this guy was either poisoned, like by Shredder, like no evidence, like here's some cyanide. Psst, thank you very much, I'm gone."
Right.
Or he just literally saw too much and like just died. Okay. Yeah. Here he has kind of spirals in his eyes.
Right. So
I wish I knew kind of what some of the kanji said around him, or what that was supposed to like symbolize.
Yeah, I don't know
that it wasn't translated. And once again, I mean, that may not be kanji. That may be like a different like way that they express like an aura of someone like fainting or something like kind of in that culture,
right.
Like in comics. I don't really know.
Right. Like it would be the equivalent.
I'm looking for almost like any detail. On
right.
This. Like you're any like.
Like you're thinking that might be the equivalent of like stars around their head, like when they're like when a
something
character
like
over here would get knocked out.
Yeah, because in an American comic, if he had stars around his head, you'd be kind of like, oh, like he's obviously just passed out because he's like out of it, right? He's like disoriented. But that looks like dead.
Looks like dead.
And the turtles don't address it because
no,
the shell phone rings. You know what I'm saying? And they just pick it up. Like
that's what they do.
And they're like, "Is it April? Is this guy dead? We don't care." And here on page 60, I mean, we do have some. These are some thick turtles down here, by the way.
They are some thick boys.
They kind of sumo turtles. It's happening. So the last thing they touched was the cheeseburger.
Oh my Lord.
Open it up, and all of a sudden it's like a FaceTime without video conversation of Shredder and April. And they kind of realized quickly. Adam just chimed in and said, for the most part, the untranslated stuff are sound effects.
Oh, okay.
That's pretty cool. Okay, yeah, it's good to know. So, like, you basically have them listening in on this conversation with Shredder and April. And that's when they kind of figure out, because your boy just, I don't know, dies. That's how they figure out that April has been taken by Shredder and whatever.
Right.
So Shredder does the thing. Do you know what I'm saying? He does the thing, which is let me tell you all about my shit. Like, let me tell you all about
he even
my
says,
big plans.
He even says, "I'll tell you." As he's sitting,
I'll tell you about it.
In the back of the convertible like mining drill thing.
That thing's got like bucket seats now, man.
Yeah.
That thing's got like
I love it so much.
That thing's kicking it.
Shredder's just chilling
he is just chilling.
Like so.
I mean, that's how you chill.
Now I want to bring this up. If you look at his legs, it looks like his legs are crossed. Now, our boy Shredder, he has those shin guards with those blades on it. I don't know that crossing your legs is the best move, my dude. Like that's he is a ninja.
Well, that's how he demonstrates. That's how he demonstrates his prowess.
Okay. All right. I can see that. I know what you mean.
That's how he demonstrates his prowess.
I get it. But this panel right here, I love it so much. It's so good.
Oh yeah, no, it's really great. So yeah. So the Turtles are kind of like, they're listening. They're like, oh, we have a front row seat to the whole thing. And sure enough, the plan is the yellow diamond and the superconductive coil will create a portal to another dimension. And of course, and then I shall summon forth their doom, the demonic destroyer, aka the Devil's Monster.
Yes.
And this is yet another. We'll talk about it in a second.
Yep.
Let's just say we depart again from the standard 87 animated series origins, and I'm here for it.
Me too.
So you have April Calipigis in frame here. Kind of like she's like leaning over, trying to get the turtle comm a little bit more out of her back pocket because you see that's kind of where it is.
Right.
And she's like, hurry up and get here, turtles, or we're all in big trouble. And it's like beep beep beep, and that's gotta be annoying because like she's right next to Shredder. And she's gotta be like, oh man, I really wish you weren't beeping right now.
Right.
And of course, I love this cut to it because you see this is one of those panels that like normally like this is something you'd have on a page flip, right, on a page turn in a comic. Like you turn the second page and it's going to be like Splinter reacting to the Devil's Monster, right? But here his illustration is so intense it catches you on the page.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Like I'm looking at April, I'm like reading I'm reading it. I'm like, oh, hurry up and get here, turtles, or we're gonna be in big trouble. Oh shit, there's like oh man, Splinter. Like normally that's a page flip, but this gets you on the bottom of page 62. So your boy Splinter is absolutely not hyped about the Devil's Monster.
No, he is not.
They're like, turtles are like, wait, you know what the Devil's Monster is? He's like, yeah, of course, man, I'm Splinter. You know what I'm saying? Like I know. They basically say, well, with a name like that, it can't be great. And the Splinter's like, well, go stop it. So back at the portal machine, Shredder's ready to open her up. You know what I'm saying? Insert the program. You know what I'm saying? So all 12 discs of Wolfenstein 3D get kicked in there. It's all good. Get ready to go. And the portal opening page is fantastic on 64. It's beautiful. And when we open up, I believe that's an example of mixed media. I believe that's a photograph inside that portal that's like essentially out of focus.
Yeah, that does.
I believe it looks really cool
because if you look up at the top panel, you also have Rocksteady in an interesting different art style where he's shown presumably in shadow, but it's all just a bunch of dots.
Yeah, they've been doing that this whole issue. Like if you go back,
I didn't notice
like
that.
The backs of the turtles' legs that are in that style. Yeah, but it's very pronounced here because he's against like a white background.
Right.
But yeah, they do like an interesting silhouette style. But I really like the mixed media art.
But the mixed media is neat. Yeah.
Yeah, it just really makes it hop off the page, right? The art's the drawn art's already fantastic, but the mixed media really brings it home. And of course, in the '90s, we were doing a lot of mixed media as kind of the birth of that.
Right.
And sometimes it doesn't look so great, and then sometimes it looks really good, like right here. So the portal has finally opened, and I'm just gonna say it: the Devil's Monster, man. That's just the Technodrome.
Yep.
With a weird head on top, and I'm here for it. And it's what's up. The Devil's Monster is awesome.
Yeah,
there's missiles, like
right.
This is like, what if this thing looked like a mine from like World War II, like a sea mine,
right?
Except every little like spike coming off was another gun.
Exactly, and it's nuts. Like I don't know. I love this design. I think it makes it look so menacing, and like just I don't know. There's just so many guns. I love it, but like it's so impractical. The head, if I'm not mistaken, is a reference or at least like a homage to what they call a daruma doll in Japan. It's a hollow, round Japanese traditional doll modeled after Bodhidharma, Daruma, I guess, founder of the Zen tradition of, and I can't see the rest of it because I didn't click on the whole link. But now here we go. Of Buddhism. There we go. There you go. That's the page turn right there.
Read more.
Yep.
Buddhism.
That's it. That
Close window.
Only one word.
Yeah. From the back of the book, it says also that it was a traditional Japanese toy whose eyes are said to grant wishes when painted in.
There you go.
And I can tell you from painting a lot of miniatures, if you can paint the eyes in and not make it look wall-eyed,
right,
you get a wish.
You get a wish.
You get a wish granted. Like,
there you go.
If you can do that and not make it look awful, you get your wish. You know what I'm saying? And if you paint, those eyes are the hardest eyes to paint.
It is.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
On that Dharma guy, because like, dude, there's no going back. You know what I'm saying?
There's no go back. Yep.
Pro tip. The way you paint eyes on guys like that actually is you paint the entire eye black, and then you shade in the white around it instead of trying to put the black on the white.
Right.
Like the pupil. You go around because you can shape it as you go.
Right.
I watched this whole video one time on doing that to make it accurate, and then this guy like absolutely blew my mind when he's like, if you ever paint a miniature with the eyes where the pupils are just all the way like over, like inside the bridge of the nose, and then over, like if you're looking this way, right? He's like, the reason it looks bad is just look at yourself in the mirror. Your eyes don't do that. And he did this on the camera. He goes, "See where my eyeballs are?"
Yeah.
He's like, "They're not like that." He's like, "Take a picture of yourself like this."
Right.
And paint like that. And I was like, that's brilliant because they don't move right. Like they don't move like you think they would.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Oh
yeah. Anyway, so paint this guy's eyes. You get a wish.
You get a wish. So I wanted to say real quick, I think the Devil's Monster is something similar that we saw when we were back in the day when we were watching a lot of Sentai, and the translations would be a little weird, like Top Satan. Like we'd get Top Satan all the time. Yep. And then because I think the word DAI, like die, if I'm not mistaken, that means like utmost or like a god or like something like that. And so they're translations from like God and like a being with like unlimited power kind of thing. They're kind of interchangeable and kind of just like I don't know. They could go either way, and I think that's why we get the Devil's Monster. But that's one of the beautiful things I love about translations, because having this called the Devil's Monster it totally colors the entire rest of the story for me in such a fantastical like way, and I love it.
And I know we talked about it before, but in the U.S., because we're so like hyper like Christian in this country, and we wind up being very conservative with things like this. You don't, back when we were growing up, and even now, you don't say devil anything.
Right. No.
Like the Devil's Monster, if let's say this was turned into a cartoon for America, let's say this was the origin of the Turtles, and they wanted to bring this to the screen, if that thing was literally called the Devil's Monster in Japan, it would have been called the Technodrome here. Yes. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, they would have found another name for it.
Yeah.
Because we weren't, you didn't do that. Yeah. Because at the time, parents who were very conservative and Christian already thought your stuff was satanic. You didn't need to even say Satan. You know what I'm saying?
No,
like,
no. He was already there.
Like there. I mean, yeah. Like Sabrina the Teenage Witch. I mean that was like that might as well have been Top Satan. Right. Sabrina the Top Satan Witch. I mean, like for all they cared. I mean, they thought Dungeons and Dragons was Satan worshiping.
Oh yeah.
Like so. You don't need anything else. So like
no. Well, they also.
I guess what I'm trying to say is we were kind of starved of that as children, right? Because you didn't play that game in the U.S. Like you know what I mean? You can show as much sex and other crap and violence as you want, but don't bring the devil into it.
Don't bring the devil into it. But like what you brought up, Sabrina the Teenage Witch. It's so funny because it's like on ABC, and they're thinking that like it's Melissa Hart and all this stuff, and they still had problems with it, and because the word witch was in it, and then even Harry Potter like doesn't have the word witch in it at all, like just the title. And then they just hear that it's about magic or anything like that. But then now it's at Universal Studios, and they're all going there and getting their wands and butterbeer and stuff.
I mean, like I said, I mean, literally, there were people that thought the Turtles were satanic, that they were saying things in between the lines, and Splinter. Like, I remember from Adventures, people had a big time problem with Splinter being Buddhist.
Yeah.
And had a real, like, they were like, oh, that's not like Christian, that's not God, and all this stuff like that. And like, I mean, kids had a problem with that.
Right.
Then who were like hyper conservative about that stuff. So I mean, like,
well, in all fairness,
you didn't need help. Like D&D, like Dungeons and Dragons, you're like, I would like to fight a dragon with my rank 1 sword, and they're like, Satan. It didn't take a lot. Man.
Well, it didn't, but even exemplified in movie 3, as soon as the turtles show up to feudal Japan, they still think they're demons and satanic.
Correct.
So it's human nature, I guess, just to think anything that's different or weird is satanic. And so there you go.
Well, let me tell you what. If this thing, I mean, I'm not really necessarily a person of faith, but if this thing rolled up on me, and it was called the Devil's Monster, I'd be scared.
Oh yeah, I'd be scared too. I do know what you're saying. I want to say one thing about this next page that we're going to get. I just want to say the next time when I click this page, Ryan Guy gives me this look that the Devil's Monster gives, like, often. Like I see this look in my dreams when I think about saying something stupid, and then old dad looks at me like, I'll show you. You ready for this? Are you done? Are you ready?
I'm not.
Okay, we'll keep going.
Because I would like to call out another use to that mixed media. You know what I'm saying? Behind the Technodrome, the Devil's Monster, which, once again, brings that whole thing to life.
Right.
Beautiful. And it jumps off the page to me, and I just wanted to call it out because it's gorgeous.
It is. And now that's the same. That's essentially the same portal that we saw last page.
Yes.
With the same mixed media, just bigger. Okay, yeah. That's neat.
It makes a great framing for the Technodrome, and it looks great. Yeah.
It does, absolutely.
Now you can turn to the look I gave you when you said
that look right.
That's not cool.
That look right there.
That's the look I gave the internet when John Clemens tried to tell me I didn't know what Mir was and I didn't know about the International Space Station. That's the look I gave.
Right.
Down at him as the Devil's Monster myself.
Right.
Prepared to obliterate. But I'm sure I've given you that look several times. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
That's the ulterior motives look too.
That is. Hey man, that is. Hey, we got to go to Walgreens to get these toys.
We're gonna go to Walgreens because I gotta. I'm like,
yep.
I'm like, but I gotta take a piss. Like, we left Chick-fil-A like 2 hours ago, and I told you, man, I gotta go home and take a piss. And you're like, well, Walgreens. I'm like, I don't know how to do it. But yeah.
Enough.
So, all right. So let's see. All right, we gotta pick up the pace here. So, the turtles have come to Shredder like a moth to the flame. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's like, like a moth to the flame. Devil's Monster, obliterate. And the Devil's Monster actually is like apparently a living because it makes a sound.
Yeah.
Like it goes, and so that's a thing, which makes him technically a war beast, which is even scarier than a huge like Technodrome that just has a fashioned head on top.
Right.
The fact that he's real, that ain't cool.
No, not
you know
at
what I'm saying? Like, look, man, there's a difference. I would rather face down an actual Abrams tank than face down a war elephant. Do you know what I'm trying to say?
Oh, yeah.
There's something that gets in my gut about an animal or a large thing made for war.
Right.
Freaks me the hell out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Oh, yeah.
So the Devil's Monster, I mean, no. Just no.
No,
okay?
Not having it.
But we start shooting. Anyways, so I just started shooting, basically, is what Devil's Monster does. And it's a lot of that. The Shredder cackling over all this. Turtles running out of the way, trying to get away from it. But then Shredder drops that thing where he's like, all right, I'm tired of you running around. So if you move any more, I'm going to kill April.
Right.
And the Turtles are like super upset. And they have to stand there. You know, it's kind of like when someone says, freeze. You're like.
And you have to.
You're like, you have to. You have to. Because that's what he told you.
Yep.
Simon says. You know what I'm saying? So he's talking about killing them all at once, like one at a time, and like going back and forth. And that is when old dad Splinter comes popping in. Excellent pencils here. Blurry as hell. Popping through. Hits your boy. I mean, just does all manner of damage before Shredder can really recognize it's him. And when he does, he says, it's you.
Yep.
And then I love it because he says Splinter, but for some reason to me in this panel, it looks like Splinter saying it.
Yeah.
Almost like jazz hands, like Splinter.
Splinter.
You know what I mean? Like because like that's the end of it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
your boy's got the burnt Cheeto, man. He's ready to go. You know what I'm saying? You got April, 100% animated out. April's like, my eyes are so big, I'm blushing. It's big time. Splinter's like, I've come to actually wreck everyone. Now they start fighting off the bat.
Yeah.
And the turtles are kind of like hanging out, and he's like, look, like, don't wait there while I'm fighting Shredder. Go destroy the devil's monster.
Right.
And they're like, yeah, but that's the devil's monster. I don't think.
Yeah, that's a tall order.
You might think the same thing we did. You might have thought that was like a big metal Technodrome with like a doll head on top.
Right.
But then it said something. It's a war beast. That scares the shit out of me. And it's like, I don't care. Like, shut down the portal. And Turtle's like, oh yeah, that's right. You can just do that and then it'll suck back in. Good job. So they go into battle. And they're fighting. They start going, and of course the turtles do take out the portal, which causes the devil's monster to go, kind of right back where he came from. Now, Shredder tries to pull some cute stuff where he's like, I'd rather call this a strategic withdrawal, and I'm gonna cave in and make a cave in. And for some reason, Shredder gets on top.
I love it.
Of the devil monster's head, and it fires off like a rocket. Whoop! It's kind of like Jeff Bezos right now. He's just sitting
like
on top, flying up. You know what I'm saying? People are ignorant, but it's also a really important thing for space science. But also, it's kind of ridiculous because how is he not crushed? He shot through the top of a cave. He's just standing on top.
Don't ask about it. There is precedence for this because remember when he was cruising in that vehicle. He should have also been crushed by stuff too, but he was not. So maybe this Shredder has another secret ability or seventh sense at this point, where he can like divert organic like rock matter, I guess, or not organic, but like
I'm gonna choose to say that I'm gonna choose to say that on the previous page. This is just in my head canon. As he's saying, I'm gonna this cave in will be your doom, or this cave will be your tomb. That at that point, just before that, all the guns on the devil's monster aim up and like fire at the roof of the cave and open it up.
That works.
And like what you're seeing falling all around is just the detritus like causing the cave in as he flies like up through it, basically.
Okay, yeah, that works.
That's all I'm gonna say. Don't worry, the cave is not the tomb because very quickly they're like, "Who got out of that?"
Yep.
Good thing we have shells. And I love like Mark's like translation thing here where he's like basically like, yeah, so originally Mikey was trying to basically say this like, more of a Japanese and I guess for the listeners I'll say it. So it says that Mikey makes a joke. He says wise man says, and he says in the translation, never sell yourself short.
Yeah.
But in the translator's note it says it is a Japanese phrase often translated as the older the wiser. Literally it translates to the turtle shell is as the year's experiences, a poetic metaphor using the resiliency of a turtle shell and their lifespan as an analog for old age. He says, while the pun worked fine in Japanese, there's no such phrase in the English language. So I made my own stupid joke.
Yeah.
And never sell yourself short. I'm a fan of that. I'm a pun man. So
I am definitely a pun man.
Of course, you are the pun man.
I am the pun man.
And then they're like, LOL, and even Splinter looks like he's laughing but crying a little bit too. I don't know why. But yeah, they're fine. And then Mikey's a bonehead, and that's it. And that is the end of the comic. So that dude probably just died in there. I don't know why he foamed and died. It wasn't a particularly funny moment in the comic.
Yeah, it didn't make any sense.
I think that he actually just started foaming in the mouth and died. That is concerning.
It is.
But the Turtles didn't have time for any of that because then they got the shell phone rang. You know
and when the shell phone rings, you can't.
Distracted.
Exactly. You can't ignore the shell phone. But I enjoyed this issue a lot. I think that like I kind of love how maybe it's just me. But and it's more exemplified in the next issue that I'm about to review. But the turtles seem like secondary to everything in this series so far.
Yeah,
like it's mostly like it's almost as if they're Inspector Gadget and Penny and everybody else like they're the ones that are actually doing the stuff. So because Penny and what was the dog's name? I forget what the dog's name was on Inspector Gadget, but I can't think of it, but they were the ones that solved the issues, solved the problems, and yeah, like that's what it kind of feels like here. The Turtles, they do solve some things, but it's mostly Splinter bails them out.
Wasn't Brain? No,
it was Brian. It was Brian, wasn't it? Or was it Brain?
No,
it was Brain.
I thought it was Brain.
It was Brain. So yeah, that's it. Nailed it. And yeah, I don't know, something about that. It's just reminiscent of that to me. And this seems just more about Shredder, and I kind of love that. The secondary characters are getting a little bit more focus, and that they're the driving force of all this stuff. And I don't know, I really appreciate that in this. And so there we go. So, Adam writes in, Brain is correct. Yes, Brain is the name of Penny's dog. And he also chimes in saying that Chapter 3 was the last one to appear in Dengeki Super Famicom magazine, according to Mark. And so
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, so that's I guess what had happened, because a lot of times they have like magazines that have different chapters of these books in them, or
they're kind of like anthologies where they all get the stuff in there. Yeah,
right. And it's like you'll have like different totally different stories in all of them, like not just here's an X-Men anthology. Like when we get anthologies, it's usually like same characters, different stories.
It's a collection of but they're
But over there, it's almost like just like here's a collection from this printing agency or this printing company, and it's like you'll have like this, like you'll have like Inuyasha and I don't know, One Piece or something like that, and they'll be mixed in, I guess, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
And so, but what it appears like the way that we've received it from Adam, I believe, was that it was all one collected thing, if I'm not mistaken, and. So speaking of that, are you ready to get into this next issue?
Never more ready.
Never more ready. All right. Well, let's
never more ready.
Let's do that. So, here we go. We open up with just all white and a picture of April, and this looks awesome. Like
tattoo that on my actual body in home.
Oh yeah. In home, I'll do it. I'll go to your house and do that. Yeah.
I would literally, and I know that this is probably being very overdramatic, but this is how much I love this.
Mm-hmm.
I would just have that as a poster hanging up.
Oh,
just
that. Like
with even all the blank space.
All the blank space.
With all the white space.
Mm-hmm.
Give it to me in 11 by 17.
Right.
I will put that on my actual wall. Like for some reason, I just love that, and it goes back to the thing we were talking about the this version of April, and I believe that's an actual just pull from issue 2.
I think so.
Where she shows up in the sewer. It feels like the exact same art. Where she's like, well, actually, I know you're not criminals, but
right.
You know what I mean? Like that whole, like I think that's literally that. This version of April I really like.
I do too.
They definitely de-aged her, but I'm kind of about it.
Yeah.
Like about the look. I like her being more petite. And her character design is really cool. Also, I love anytime you get April out of the jumpsuit. Because this makes her look less like April that we've seen in 190 something episodes of the animated series. Basically. Anything that does that is great. I like this look of her.
That's a great point. Yeah, I hadn't actually put that together. Like I mean, obviously I read it, but I hadn't took the time to actually appreciate that, because she basically has a tucked in like dress kind of shirt, like with pockets and like sleeves or whatever that are rolled up, and some what looks to me to be like, well, in the 90s this was just these were just shorts, but I guess we call them like high-waisted shorts now, but they're the bottoms are cuffed up too, and she just, I don't know, she just looks really cool, and I really do like this look about her.
It's just like a really cool, like really like fresh interpretation of April.
Indeed.
And something about it in all that white space, I'm like, yes.
Yeah. It's great.
I just love that.
So all right, so real quick before we get started, Adam comes in with some more info. He says that Chapter 4, which is what we're about to review, is the bonus for the standalone volume. And he continues to say fan service at its weirdest, which I think he might be talking about some of the stuff we see later on in this issue. So we're going to get into that. So again, thanks, Adam, so much.
And once again, we do need to drop that this is the Dengeki Comics Chapter 4 of the Mutant Turtles Gaiden series.
So so we open up with Splinter reading a newspaper, and he's just talking about like, oh, this is bad. But we're going to Japan, and that's the thing that like I would love to just wake up to somebody telling me that. You know what I'm saying? Like, this is bad. We're going to Japan. That's kind of how I felt the whole last year. Is that
you would turn into the cover of Plastic Love? Like if I rolled into your house like Eric, and you're like, bro, bro, good to see you. Are you okay?
I was gonna do the hair flip,
like Maria Takeuchi. Yeah, I didn't know what happened, but basically, like if I walked into a hair, guess what? You're like, well, I'm like going to Japan. You're like, like you just like all of a sudden have that outfit on, and be like instantly, like that's
just like Maria Takeuchi. Sure. Yep, instantaneously. I'd have it like, on the ready. So the Turtles are like, what's going on, Splinter? Like, what are you upset about? And that's what he says. We're going to Japan. Yeah. And this book does not waste any time getting into some really uncomfortable stuff. So all of a sudden, it looks like the Turtles are like, okay. And I think, if I'm not mistaken, some of these the pages might be off, but that could be me misreading things. But essentially, the Turtles are trying to find disguises so that they can travel on an airplane, unrecognizable, in close proximity to people as they go to Japan. So they're thinking about, what do Japanese people look like? Which, I mean, when you ask that, generally you're thinking like what do they wear and stuff. And the Turtles are going through that. Now, bear in mind that one thing I like to harp on a ton is that these are teenagers. And when you focus that mentality onto them, it helps to you can tolerate a little bit of the weirder stuff that happens, but they're going through a lot of the stereotypes that they're familiar with through stories and different things I'm sure their father had showed them that he found in books that he found in the sewer. So you have Raphael dressed as a Nohmin, Nohmin. He's got the Raiden hat. And a vest and stuff. He looks pretty cool. Then you have the samurai, which is I'm assuming Leonardo, and then this is where it gets bad. Then we get I'm not sure who these two are. You have one of them that looks like an accountant because they have an abacus in their. Oh yeah, Shioden. But they have an abacus in their shirt, like tucked in between their jacket.
And
then you have a SYO Kunin. So Sayokunin, and
you just sound like my grandfather. You sound like my grandfather because if he didn't know a word and he was reading, he would just spell it out loud and keep going.
Oh, so yeah, I did like a hybrid.
So it says here SYOKUN. So I was like, oh my god, is that my grandpa?
Yeah. Well, and
Syokunin?
Syokunin. Yeah, I think so. Well, my Japanese is weird. So
I don't know what that. I guess that person's looking at microchips. I guess that's like an electronics manufacturer.
That's what it looks like, because it looks like he's holding a scalpel, like a knife, like some sort of. But then he's also at a table full of rocks, so like, who knows? Like, well, I mean, I guess people do know, but like,
well, I mean, the thing says CPU, like the box, so I think he's.
Oh, you're right. Like, so do you think that
computer chips?
Could that be
that's what he's got in his hand is like a CPU.
Oh, right. Like. Oh, no. I totally get that. I guess I was just like harping on the thing he's holding in his left hand, which looks like a knife. But could that be a soldering thing, possibly?
Could be a knife. Could be a soldering iron. Yeah.
Well, real quick, the art is fantastic. Like, this looks great. Like, as far as what it is, it's just. And behind them are a bunch of Japanese highlights like Mount Fuji and the Tokyo Tower and stuff, and so and that's kind of neat. the problem comes in with the turtles still talking about how are we going to, be in disguise, and they say, I hope Master. See, right here it seems like they've already made it to Japan, but
yeah,
I
see in Japan. I mean, like you get.
Well, what I was getting at
all the sites.
Right, but what I'm getting at is that we see a page later that they're still on an airplane going to Japan. So I think the page might have got it mixed up. But but here we're looking at
communicating.
Oh yeah. So one way or another, the turtles are saying, "We hope that Master Splinter made it to Japan okay." Another turtle chimes in saying, "Remember, we have to pass ourselves off as for Japanese people." Chill, man. You know Americans can't tell Oriental faces apart. We'll be just fine.
Oh, the O word. No, the O word. That's pretty good too.
Yeah. So
fun fact. Bring the content.
Okay.
So I watched a video the other day on face blindness. Do you know what face blindness is?
I've heard the term.
So basically, it's a thing where, like, some people, the way that their brains break down faces is as a bunch of disparate details, like the eyes, the nose, the mouth, the ears, the lips, the cheeks, whatever. But their brain doesn't bring all that together and label it like Eric, right? So when they meet you and they see your face, if they see you again, their brain doesn't have like a saved image of your face, right? This is how they think it works. So they don't know who you are.
Yeah.
They used to think that face blindness was like an ultra rare thing, that like it only was documented in like a handful of people, and it was very rare. But it turns out with modern science, we found out that actually face blindness is like way more common.
Really?
But it's very hard to diagnose because most people that are face blind obviously don't want to tell anybody.
Right.
Because it would automatically they understand they're not like cold alien people. They understand that like if they told someone I have face blindness, then that person would automatically be like, okay, cool, you don't recognize me.
Right. Well,
what
they do they know that they have it? Like, is that a thing that like they're aware that that's a thing?
Yes, because it's pretty because what happens is like they know that they see other people recognize someone, like, oh, Eric, what's up, and they can't do that.
Okay.
And they know, and they like a lot of things when you have it from like a young age, like I don't think you can necessarily develop face blindness. I think it's something you just kind of get born with as you develop. It's very hard for them to go to anybody about it. And what typical coping mechanism is that they're just super nice to everybody.
Oh, okay.
Usually like people with face blindness are like among some of like the warmest people you know. And part of that is, I mean, obviously they're probably just nice people, but part of that is a defense mechanism.
Interesting.
Because if they don't want to treat someone that they really like as an acquaintance, they don't want to seem cold. So they're really nice to everyone. You know what I mean? That'd be like if I treated everybody like I treated you.
Right.
Like a stranger on the street, I'm like, oh, bro, what's up, man? Hey, brother. Like whatever. Like, because I don't know him from you. Like I can't tell a stranger from you.
Right. Or you look at me like
weird, right?
Or you look at me like the Devil's Monster does. Like you look at them like that.
Yeah, I'm like, right. What? But the reason I bring all that up is that typically the way that our faces, our brains process facial features and kind of print a memory of like this face is this person. A lot of it is regional and cultural, okay? Because like as you know, people from different regions of the world, different genetic backgrounds have different like facial features. They believe that the sentiment of insert foreign people all look the same
right
is actually our brains kind of admitting like I have not had enough experience looking at like say like Asian people or black people or whatever. I have not had enough time to like process how those work into a matrix. So if you think, for example, and I don't mean this offensively, but you hear people say it a lot. It's not right to say, but like what they say right here is that Asian people all look the same. What's actually happening with that is that your brain just hasn't seen enough Asian people.
Right, precisely.
You can tell the like say Anglo-Saxon features or whatever because you've been around people like that.
Right.
But studies have also shown there's also a good uptick for this. Studies have also shown the longer you are exposed to people of a different culture, the more your brain does pick that up.
Right.
So sometimes if you have a hard time potentially, telling, say, people from different ethnicity apart 100%, then just, I guess, know that that's natural. That's like the way your brain doesn't have the data on it. Like, but obviously saying something like that out loud is highly offensive and stupid to say.
It is.
But if you ever feel that way, because I know sometimes I feel a way and I go like, I feel that way in my head, but I feel like that's also not right. But I can't help this. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like a lot of people are stuck there, right? Like, but it's really hard for me to tell these two people apart, like at work or something. You just gotta know, I guess, that like it's not like that there's something wrong with you. It's that like our brains work a certain way.
Right.
But I just thought that was interesting.
It's very interesting.
I didn't know the link between that and face blindness, right? Like
right.
They are you experience a quasi face blindness,
right,
when you haven't been exposed to people of other cultures. Here, they use the O word, and also, Now I don't know if that is supposed to be a joke about Americans. I think I just don't know what that is.
Right, exactly. And I just wanted to touch on your point real quick. Just that the thing is that it seems like the idea of that I don't want to say sentiment, but that cliche or that trope or stereotype, if you will, is rooted in our brain's ability to associate. So like we associate, like if we see something dark moving across the floor, our brains like look at it thinking that it's something trying to get us. Like we don't know necessarily what it is, but the more we think about it and look into it and we investigate, we can tell that there are different things that move that are darker on the floor and stuff like that. But I think it's rooted into that. But the problem lies, like what you were saying, is that like you just don't have enough experience or you're not in contact with people, different people or things or whatever enough. And the problem is when you stay in that state of ignorance and you boastfully say that oh, they all look the same or this or that. And it can be problematic when ignorance stays and never grows, and that's the problem.
So a great example of it is if you, many people, this is like it's funny. This is an ever evaporating group of people that I guess it's more acceptable to say this about. A lot of people think that all babies look alike, right? Like I've heard that so many times. Like someone's like, "Look at my baby, isn't it cute?"
Right.
I've heard so many people go, "That looks like every baby I've ever seen." Right? Like that's very common. Like I feel that way. Like I've had kids and like there's like that Gerber baby. Yeah. I feel like half of all babies look like that Gerber baby to me, right? Yeah. Now, of course, from having kids, like anybody that's had kids knows, when you have a kid, your kid is instantly recognizable to you. Like you're never going to confuse your kid with the Gerber baby, right?
Right.
But I think that is an extension of that because like, children's like facial features change quickly and become more adult looking features that we recognize. Right. So your 5-year-old nephew, you could tell him from some stranger kid that's walking down the street. Like you can just tell the difference in the face.
Right.
But with babies, when you're not used to just look. Now I'm sure a NICU nurse could tell one, a 1 week old from the next one because that nurse has seen those babies' faces so many times that her brain knows how to pick those apart.
Right. I was born with this mustache. So I had this mustache when fresh out the box. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And so they can call me.
You just shaved it. You just shaved it back when I met you.
Oh, of course, I was ashamed.
When all you have is a couple little like stubblies and a little there.
And I was actually drawing some of it in too. Yeah. But that was the beard. The mustache was legit. But yeah, with this, and I agree with what you just said too. But as far as this, I think it's a little bit more of one culture making fun of other people's jokes about them,
interpretation of their culture,
right?
No. It seems super self-aware. It's just interesting to me. Like it's just very interesting.
And I love that at the bottom of this page is issue 4, Discover Japan. So yeah. Then
discover it.
We get a page which I think might be out of order, but it's neither here nor there. You see the turtles on a plane, and they're talking about.
You keep saying that. You keep saying this out of order thing, but I really got to put that to rest because I've been like, while you've been talking about that, I've been looking at the actual pages.
Okay.
And like, if you notice on the left or right, depending on the page facing, it gets a little blurry, right, because of the spine of the book, and I've been tracking this, and I don't think they're out of order. So what I'm going to say is the opening is we're going to Japan. Okay. The next page is them envisioning like what they're going to look like when they're there. I think that's because those panels are in the top. I think that's them kind of like what they're going to look like in their vision of Japan.
Right.
At the bottom is the actual story. So they walk in the thing. Someone says, "Oh, the wandering gamble style," and all this stuff. Then they're saying, "Look, like, how do we like? Hope he made it okay. How are we going to pass ourselves off as Japanese?"
Right. But the thing is that
they get on the plane.
I agree.
I think that's all in order. You keep saying that, but I think they're all in order. I think it's the way that the comic's displaying the story.
So.
And Adam says that pages 78 and 79 work better as a 2-page spread.
Okay,
so like,
yeah.
78 and 79 are basically like a 2-page thing.
And again,
the art says the art streams on the top, which makes sense.
No. Yeah, yes. I get that. I guess, and it's also we're reading in a Japanese left to right, so it kind of throws me off a little bit. The thing that threw me off the most was that you have the people saying, "Oh, the wandering gambler style," and which is the outfit that the turtles eventually choose to wear. And the thing is that how many Americans are actually going to call that? I thought that was them being in Japan and a Japanese person said that. However, if I'm being a little bit stereotypical, looking at the art and the way that the Japanese people are depicted later and stuff, it might look like, these look like stereotypical Americans saying this right as the turtles are getting on the plane. And so then that makes more sense, to your point. So one way or the other, the turtles get on the plane. Nobody notices. Nobody cares. And this just stands to reason because, like, people see the turtles all the time and forget that they've seen them, and especially in the animated series. But they say goodbye to Lady Liberty, and then Ryan, one of my favorite panels of all comics, probably ever, is this panel right here where you see what is presumably the Devil's submarine, like.
The Devil's damn submarine.
This thing is beautiful. I mean, it's literally.
I don't know how much better it could be.
I don't either. Like, if there's a more perfect Devil's submarine, then I have never seen it. This thing is.
Show us, you cowards. Show us a better Devil's submarine.
Show us a better one. So, So we see the Devil's submarine and it's all its glory, and we see Shredder just like chilling out, and he ends up like he's just sleeping, like he's just knocked out. And apparently, Bebop or Rocksteady lets us know that they're going to Japan, and they don't know why. But they they're just like, why are we going here? So what are we going to Japan for anyway? And he's like, so we can destroy the rat Splinter once and for all. And okay, that's all he really wants. Good enough reason. In Japan, the turtles arrive, and this is where we get into some more problematic things. That given the fact that this is sourced directly from Japan, it's a little bit more forgiving because it's tongue in cheek and it's a little bit.
Well, when you think about the tone, right? When you think about the tone of it all being like the biggest like inside joke, it's. I guess like the closest thing I can put this to, right? I know it's problematic, but I mean, like you start to ask yourself, like, this is one of those. I think as Americans, we're particularly sensitive to this because what happens a lot is like, so people make a tongue-in-cheek, self-aware commentary about themselves.
Yes,
right?
Yes.
The problem with Americans, though, and I think you and I are keying on this,
right?
Is that Americans take this and go, ha ha ha, that's hilarious. And they don't get the joke.
Right.
That's what I think you and I are both like, I know like our skin's crawling a little bit right now because we're kind of like, this is what people like, Americans unironically laugh at this because this is the racist way they see other people.
Like,
right. So we keep having to throw like almost like warnings up about it.
Right.
Like, so I think we ought to just like off the bat, just say like, this is not how we see Asian people.
No.
But I think we're getting freaked out because it feels weird to see Japanese artists doing a tongue-in-cheek thing about Japanese people, but drawing them in such a racist manner, and we're both like,
right.
What can we say about it, right?
Exactly.
Precisely. What do you say about it?
Yeah.
Is it funny? Is it funny? You know what I mean? Like how do I sound if I say it's funny? Like how, you know what I mean? It's weird.
It is very strange, and a lot of it too is that we've had to deprogram ourselves growing up, just because like we were surrounded by a lot of this mentality, and
it's growing up in the South.
Strange.
I almost say growing up in South America, but growing up in the South United States, the Southern United States, this image on the bottom of page 82 would have just been in a comic strip.
Yeah, and that's
like, LOL, I'm in Japan.
Yeah.
Like, that's what we grew up with. So, like, we have had to, like, deprogram ourselves to a large extent. So I think we see that imagery, Eric, and I really think we see that, and just personally, we go, like, we feel like, no, right? Like,
but if the Turtles do it,
right?
If the Turtles do it, it's okay. So
I mean, if the Turtles do it, if we can count on them.
We can count on them. That's what they told us. So here we go. I'm going to read it. So the Turtles arrive in Japan, and they're feeling it. They're feeling the hell out of Japan. And they're talking about like how they're going to get the nearest pizza and how exotic it is and stuff. And then we have a turtle. I'm not sure which one this is, but they say, "Hey, Don, look. It's true. Japanese people really do all look the same. Even the women. So you think Sensei looked like that? Or even," and we get a page turn here, but right before we do, they say, "the Shredder?" And then we get
so that
a very hilarious.
That page is actually mega funny.
It is really funny, like, especially considering the source and what it was intended to be.
Yeah.
It's Shredder looking. He has over-exaggerated front teeth, and he looks like a very offensive stereotype. But
he does. Yeah,
and the Turtles are just laughing, and they say, "Ha ha! No wonder he wears a mask." And at this point, and this is great, like I was laughing out loud at this part, you see Shredder like wake up from his slumber sneezing.
Yeah.
And Bebop and Rocksteady go, "Da boss only sneezes when people are making fun of him. He must have got one of them sixth senses or something." And I lost that. I lost it. I was just like, that's amazing.
Pretty great.
Shredder only sneezes when people make fun of him. Like, that's something that I wish that every continuity like took with it. Like, if because the Turtles are so jovial and like and comedic that they're going to be making fun of Shredder. If he could have sneezing attacks like because of that, that's just, I don't know. I just think that's a whole nother layer of a character development for him. But anyway, we got to pick up the pace here a little bit more. So all of a sudden we see Master Splinter show up wearing a mask that looks like, I don't know.
I love this so much.
Like,
I love this so much.
He comes up.
Him wearing that person mask is like,
it's great.
Like, so funny to me.
It is great.
Like, that is so great.
So he comes up and says, "This man is Mr. Ora, organizer of the All Japan Armor and Weaponry exhibition," and greetings are exchanged, but like the Turtles are just taken aback by this because this picture is just too good. Like it's that mask isn't really doing much, but
love it.
It's just so good. So we find out that that essentially why Shredder is there is because they believe that that this sword, which is the Muramasa blade in particular, it's on display, and I think that Splinter had seen that in the paper, figured out that Shredder's probably going to go
the highly desired technology showcase.
Precisely.
Right back at it again.
And everyone's taken off to get this thing. And but this sword, the Muramasa blade, is said to have had an evil influence over the Tokugawa dynasty eventually inciting revolt, and modern analysts still cannot determine how the sword was made. Its unique characteristics give it power over the human mind. Now, that's a little bit
love how in this universe that is an actual artifact.
Yeah.
Like, scientists are like, we can't figure out how they folded the steel or whatever, but one thing we do know is it can influence your mind.
Yep, we know that.
And that thing's an actual thing in this universe. That's my favorite.
So at this point, the Turtles and Splinter are viewing the blade like in the exhibit, and so Splinter's just like they're talking about how beautiful the sword is and stuff, but and Splinter senses evil, like he can just feel it, like he's got his own sixth sense. Then we cut to April O'Neil with her camera girl Irma, and they're there from for Channel 6 reporting about this the all Japan armor and weaponry exhibition, and where everyone's having fun looking at the displays, Ryan. And at this point, the Turtles realize that April's there, so they go and talk to her, and that Splinter mask is just too funny. It's just too good. But
it's really good. It doesn't even fit him. I love how also it's mad.
Oh yeah, it's a frowny face.
The fact that it looks like Terrence and Phillip #1.
Oh, a little.
Amazing.
Oh, it totally does a little bit.
It does. It looks like a Terrence and Phillip like image, and the fact that he has that little artist mustache and he's really mad is hilarious to me.
Right.
For something that just is the best.
So so Splinter they talk to April, and he's like, I didn't know you'd be here. I didn't know you'd be here. A lot of that. Splinter says that, well, the reason we're here is because I felt the Mursamasa, I guess that's okay. Yeah, the Mursamasa blade, like he felt drawn to it, like it was calling to him essentially.
Yeah.
And so then we have let's see, he goes into some history about it and talks about it, but he says the Mursamasa blade has been awakened, and within it a terrible destructive energy that will influence whoever attempts to wield it. It can be awakened for only a moment, once every 100 years, and now is the 100th year. Which, why would you have an exhibit like on the 100th year when this blade can be used? Like, why would you have this out?
Well, Splinter knows that. See, Hamada Yoshi knows that because he's like the man. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
But I mean, the people that run the exhibit don't know that. You know what I'm saying? They're like, whoa, let's make some money.
Right. So yeah, and it looks like it looks like at this very moment, we're seeing that the Shredder, a massive man apparently, is standing in front of it, and it's the Shredder in front of the blade. And the Turtles are like, oh, that's why we're here. We're here to stop Shredder in case he gets it. Oh, look, he's trying to get it right now. Let's go stop him. They say, behold our total awesome entrance, and they're just like, y'all just, I guess if you throw off a cape, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, M. Bison did that all the time.
Yeah.
And that was pretty awesome.
Oh no, that was his entrance. Can I say that the smirk on Shredder's face, like in the bottom of page 88, is like amazing.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. And he knows,
I just love that.
He knows what he's doing. And speaking of amazing, we got more mixed media and Shredder's face, and Shredder looks fantastic here. He's like wielding the Muramasa blade, just cackling, and there's all this mixed media that looks like lightning effects and just like electricity and energy
it's kind
of
like Kirby Crackle, but in the mixed media, it looks really cool.
It does. It does. And so then we see, in a strange turn of events that I wasn't sure how this was going to go, and I was definitely not seeing the way that it ends up going. We see Rocksteady grab Irma, not April, and Shredder then addresses everyone. He says, "You're a fool, Splinter. This is the 100th year, and I have come." And then, he's like, "All the pieces of my plan have fallen into place." And then he says, "Woman, gaze into this sword." And this art is fantastic. Like, it's got, the sword has like an aura kind of following it.
Yeah.
Like it's like a plate at Chili's, you know what I'm saying? Like
it's just like a dark energy going on.
Yeah.
I like that a lot.
I do
like
too.
That a lot.
It's fantastic. And so Irma's like, okay. The Turtles and Splinter are like, something's not right. This is not his plan. Something's not quite right. This seems off. and he goes, she's becoming entranced by the katana. Hard to believe as it may be. This is the Turtles talking. They're saying that Shredder's actually using his head. But do not act so surprised. He intends to use the girl to defeat us. And I'm like, what? And then, Ryan, we turn the page, and we get some fan service here. And I will say, this is great. Irma looks like Weird Science, just like coming out the box. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, she almost kind of looks like I forget that girl's name that was in that movie, but like how for some reason it reminded me of that.
Yeah,
but if she was cosplaying as a very I don't know,
the bra has a little, like, at least in this art, the bra has a bit of a poison ivy thing going on.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to say. So yeah.
Whereas the bottom just looks like regular underwear. I don't know. I really think that what is supposed to have happened here, I'm trying to decipher this from the art. Okay. I think that's just her underwear. I think what happened. I think that because she's still wearing shoes, it looks like.
Yes.
At least at the bottom of page 92. I think what happened was all of a sudden it was almost like a beer commercial from the 80s, and her clothes just disappear, and she's still wearing her underwear. Now, that's cool and all. If you're gonna go this far, though, why wouldn't it transform into a
armor or something?
A skimpy armor or a skimpy something that would have to do with the blade, but the blade's is getting hot in here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so Irma does the next part, and then Shredder's she got so hot, all of her clothes came off except for underwear.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, she's got the Muramasa blade. That's real.
She does. Now, I mean, if we want to take it back to He-Man, when He-Man is Prince Adam, he's got a lot more clothes on. When he uses the power to transform him through the sword, he's basically wearing a chest harness that is just presumably just armor, just metal armor and leather and stuff, but that doesn't cover much, and then fur underwear, which that actually just changes colors from purple to brown, I guess. And
that makes
so
sense.
This is probably a similar line of logic somehow.
Sure.
But one way or the other, I love it. It looks great, and I think it's a weird turn, but I'm here for it. Shredder is now, April, destroy those miserable cretins you once called your friends, and this look. Irma gives this look. Woo, goodness, and
spicy.
Yep, and everyone's like, me? April's looking at herself, and so everyone's looking at April what? Huh?
What?
Then Shredder just completely turns around, he's just and he hears, "I am Irma," and she swings that sword and she says, "Mistaking a lady's name is an inexcusable outrage." And
I agree.
Yeah, I think so too. I mean, I've seen very few times where that's actually been anything that's oh, I got your name wrong, unless it's an acquaintance. But no, they've had run-ins with Irma and April before. Yeah, no. So
also, I love the commitment in the middle of page 93. I love the commitment to the anime style where Shredder is shown sweating over his helmet.
Yes, to let us know.
That's important.
Absolutely. And so everyone's blown out by this. They're like, what? And Irma just goes Hurricane Irma, just wielding that sword, just spinning it around and just kicking ass. And I love it because she's like, you shall be judged, and just Shredder's trying to reason with her, but she's not hearing it, and she is just putting him in the corner. And so the turtles are like, hey, Sensei, what do we do here? I don't know. Do we stop this? What's the case? Or what's the situation? And so Splinter's like, you know what? It appears Irma will not be needing our help after all. The law of Muramasa clan, once a target has been selected, it must be destroyed, Ryan. And Irma proceeds to head after the Shredder. We get Bebop and Rocksteady in another great use of just a ton of white space with a word bubble that's just an ellipses and the sweat coming on their heads. Yes. And this is great.
I love that frame.
The Bebop and Rocksteady are like, all right, guys, we're done here. We're just gonna leave.
Cool. See you guys. Bye.
Yeah, and the last page, we see that they eventually get knocked out because the fight actually does happen, and Bebop and Rocksteady do. April's asking about Irma, if she'll be okay. He says she'll be fine. It is the Shredder we should be most concerned about, but because Miss Irma will most certainly not stop until she has destroyed him. And then we see in the last panel that Shredder is swimming in the water, obviously, because where else do you swim? And he's trying to get Irma to give it up, but she's like, nope, this is for the honor of women everywhere. At the end. Correct. And so
no kidding.
Yeah, that was great. And so what did you think about all that? Let me do this.
So it's kind of interesting knowing now that that this was kind of like not in the original the Super Famicom magazine, that this was like a bonus issue, for the standalone thing, because I guess then traditionally that the story ended on the end of issue 3. It's cool to see him have another plan. This almost feels like extra features, kind of like bonus features. You know what I mean? Right. It's very interesting. Once again, the art's great, and and even on this last page here, I mean, great mixed media again, which I didn't expect to see out of the manga. So that's really cool. Mm-hmm. I thought it was cool. I thought it was funny. You get past a lot of the Asian stereotyping. That's probably Asian people probably go like, "That's funny because we made that." But of course, we're kind of like, "Don't go back to the dark place." Mm-hmm. So but the art's fantastic. Once again, we just carry on the excellent pencil work, excellent ink work. And I'm a fan. The humor was there more in this issue, which I appreciated. Splinter's mask is about the funniest thing I've ever seen.
It's great.
That is absolutely brilliant, and I was a big fan. I think it's kind of a cool way to round it off, and I think it, kind of taking the Dengeki Comics now at a whole, right, from what we've seen of them. I think they've really brought it to the table. They bring a really fresh interpretation of the TMNT. I do like that this kind of this Mutant Turtles Gaiden run kind of has its own origin feel and kind of does its own thing. I like that it's a standalone. Yeah. And I had a really good time with it. I had a really good time with it.
I did too.
It was definitely a pleasure to read for sure.
Right. I agree. I did enjoy this. I enjoyed these last 2 issues a lot more than I did the previous 2. But so it seemed like everybody, and it's kind of a shame that it doesn't continue, or at least as far as I know, it doesn't. But Hiroshi Kanno, just like the author, it seems like he was kind of coming into his own with these characters, and at this point, everything that happened in this, like we said, barring the weird racial stuff, everything in these last 2 issues, I would definitely read more of. I was totally digging that.
Oh,
but I said,
the
only thing is that
for sure
I like it, but at the same time, I read the Turtles for the Turtles, but it seems like they don't have, they're so ancillary in these stories, and I like that because we have so much of it where they're front and center. But I would love to see them this kind of style, but more involving the rest of the characters in the lore. And but I love it here, and I love this ending. Whenever Adam told us that volume 3 or issue 3 was the end, the last thing, the end is Shredder on that head just taking off. That's funny, that's great. But this idea of Shredder being out in the water just swimming, that, I love that ending so much more. And this is, and I'm a big fan of Irma. I just think Irma is a really great character. Now, I think really a lot of it
super an underserved character in the story, right? We've talked about that. She gets underserved a lot when it comes to this stuff, and anything that can be Irma centric, I'm about.
Absolutely. And I forgive me, I meant to look this up, but I forget which Chipette she was kind of designed after, at least in the animated series. I know it was the middle one, but I forget her name. But from Out of the Chipmunks, like the female the girl band version of them.
Yeah.
And I, as a kid, like, I think we've talked about this, where did you ever have crushes on cartoons and stuff like that, and cartoon characters? And that was always one for me for some reason. And I think since Irma was modeled after her, it's either, I don't know if it's not Jeanette, because I think Jeanette is the
I'm on it.
Thank you, I appreciate it. Farmer Greg's been slacking, so I don't even know where he is today.
Yeah, right.
But
where's our drunk producer?
Where is he when we need him? But yeah, I'm trying to think of her name, but it is not coming to me. But you got me though, so I'm gonna keep going. But yeah, I think that resonated with me, and kind of my appreciation for her, and seeing her. Like, you know, we saw it a few times in the animated series where she like had agency and was like doing some cool stuff, and that was cool. But like here is similar to that, and I really appreciated that. And then yeah, just the artwork is fantastic. So yeah, if you can get your hands on these, I'd highly recommend it, because they're a neat little thing to have. And yeah, I was very happy that we got to experience these. So again, Adam, thank you so much for that. I wanted to say something that he had mentioned earlier, because
that is Jeanette.
Oh, it was Jeanette. Okay, so Jeanette was the middle Chipette. Okay, interesting.
Yeah.
Oh, because there was Eleanor. Eleanor was the third one. And I forget what the first one, or the
Eleanor is like the chubbier one. Jeanette is the nerdy one, and Brittany is the
That's it. Yeah.
Lead singer, like
right?
The more prototypical like pop star of them.
So Adam he's the person who was part of the optical. I gotta get that. I always forget the name. The Optical Internet Translation Gang. He provided the raw files for these to the scans and stuff, and So he's been in the chat with us, in case you didn't catch on to that.
He's been in the chat. This should be I really
I've loved
nice.
it. Thank you,
really
Adam, so much for all the insight you've given us, and we sincerely
sweet.
appreciate all this. But I wanted to say something.
Man.
He said
Good
that
work,
he said that let's see, where is it? There it is. He says that as I remember, I bought these books way back around the turn of the last decade. 2008 or 2009. The first time I bought anything on eBay, they came from Mirage Studios legend Stephen Murphy. That's awesome. So like, that's like direct from the source.
Even better.
That's sick.
Even better.
Yeah. And so oh my goodness. Well, man, that's awesome. And I'm so glad that you provided these for the internet and for the world to share it and to be on the show and help us out with this. Like, thank you so much, dude. And so
for sure.
Yeah, well, I think that's it. Now, if I'm not mistaken, I took a look at our outline, and I believe that the next thing, I think we're still in comics for next episode, or next episode. However, I got to make sure we have these. I think we do. I got to double check. So if not, I'm going to try to get in contact with our cool uncle and see about getting them. But I think the next thing that we have to tackle is, because right now, we're in the middle stages of 1995 and 1996. So like, we're trying to get anything that's come out between both years out of the way, and just to get into 96 proper. So if I'm not mistaken, this actually might be our first full-on 1996 review that we're going to do the next episode, which is the TMNT Adventures Year of the Turtle. If my cursory internet search was correct, this is the very last Adventures like story that's like not like, I think it's still under Adventures, but it's different. I don't know too much about it, because as longtime listeners know that, like, we like to be kind of surprised. We like to come upon this stuff like fresh generally, as best as we can. And so I'm really looking forward to that, because I have no real understanding of it, except if I'm not mistaken, I looked at some of the images and it looks like there's some Power Rangers references in it. And we're definitely going to see some Power Rangers come into play in the next couple years. So that's a huge thing for the 90s. So, yeah. But Anyway, having said all that, what did you guys think of this? Did you enjoy this? Were you in Japan when these came out? Do you know any of this stuff? Did you like the Devil's Monster? Should that be what the Technodrome is referred to from here on out? I am in favor of that. So if you have any answers to these questions, or if you have any other questions or concerns or whatever the case may be, or if you want to make a video of you trying turtle-related food or anything in that manner, you can do that and let us know by emailing us at turtlesoupshow@gmail.com. You could also go to the home of the internet, turtlesoupshow.com, where all of our episodes are up there for you to download and check out. And you could also, if you're not here already, come over to YouTube and subscribe, and you can catch the live stream. And we do occasional other stuff here on the channel too, so you'll be keyed into that. And that's a lot of fun. And then if you want to be kept, what did I say, abreast of all the stuff going on?
You didn't say abreast. You said we'll keep you up to breast.
Up to breast? Oh, that's what I said. I knew I didn't say it quite right.
If you want to be kept up to breast.
Up to breast. What was I I guess I was trying to say up to speed? Up to speed is the other phrase that you can say.
You're trying to say up to speed and abreast.
Abreast at the same time. I combined them.
We'll feed you. I gotta say, that gives a new meaning to "we'll feed you, baby birds." You know what I'm saying?
It totally does.
A whole new meaning to that.
So if you want to
new meaning to that.
If you want to get fed, you can do that by going to the to Facebook and finding the group, and we put a bunch of stuff up there. That's usually our first place to go. Instagram, Turtle Soup Show with the underscores between each word. Let's see what else is there. Wherever you're listening to us at on the podcast side, rate, review, subscribe. That helps us out a lot too. And then if you want to go the extra mile, you can do that by going to patreon.com. Find that Turtle Soup's been making a podcast, and that we have a Patreon. We've got a lot of cool rewards and stuff like that are up there for people who help us monetarily, and it does so much stuff for the show. It's unreal, and so we really appreciate all of our patrons. And we've got I think I have it to where most everything is made and gonna be ready to ship out, I think, this weekend. Don't really hold me to it, but I've got really hard plans to get this done, solid plans to get them shipped out. And but everything's pretty much made and good to go, and so we're still finessing the actual site, but most everything is up there. We're going to start having polls and different other things that are going to be attributed to that, and hopefully soon we'll have a video of Ryan and I explaining all this stuff in excruciating detail. But until then, you're stuck with us and doing the show live on the internet. So, guys, thank you so much for being a part of the show, and thank you for everyone on YouTube that was watching and hanging out with us. We're gonna end it here, I think, because I think that's everything. So, else time. so there's no way we don't call this the Devil's Monster or something, right?
Like,
there's
no way, right? I think it's literally just the Devil's Monster. Like, I just don't think you can name the show.
Yeah.
Like anything else other than that, I don't think.
I mean, it just says it all. When it says nothing at all, you know.
I do appreciate that, like on the chat, that Adam's name is in pink. I think it's kind of cool.
That is cool. I don't know how that
fuchsia. I don't know what that's supposed to be. Like, I'm sure it's pink on the stream, but then on YouTube the A is like a fuchsia color. It's not as pink.
That's
interesting. I don't quite know.
Yeah, I don't either. I'm not entirely sure how. Like, I still haven't fully mastered all of this stuff, as evident by all of the problems we've had. But yeah, I think that might have been designated by me at some point, but not particularly for Adam, but like just in general. But yeah. So yeah, the internet's weird. There's so many things. There's so many things. So yeah, I don't know that I could do that pizza that Hatfield did, because like
I don't know if I could either. Like I
mean, if I had to for the show, I could if it was available. But like
I mean, I would. I put it on the line, but
I don't know.
He got that thing piping hot, like out. He got that thing out the Pizza Hut and was like, "I'm in the car, and like I'm gonna eat this pizza."
Right, and
for the family,
for the soup, and that's man, that's dedication. So like I love that.
Yeah,
so much.
Yeah, that was
part
beautiful.
of me. I'm gonna message him probably and see if we can just have that as its own thing on the channel, like what the logistics are behind that. Like see if he'll be cool with that.
Just be like, this is we could put something in the description, like saying like, oh, this is like one of our listeners, he made this great video, kind of like give like a little bit of oh man. Adam says, while you were podcasting, Walmart apparently leaked a new NECA 2-pack.
Oh, what? No.
Casey April farm.
No.
What?
What? That's okay. I'm on the phone. I'm looking. Not that I don't believe, but I want to see. I want to totally.
I want to see.
Yeah. Goodness. Okay. I'm not seeing anything. Oh, yep. I see it. Okay. Yeah. They don't have an image on the one that I found, but there is a listing.
Oh, got it. Okay. They're just talking about it.
There is a listing for April O'Neil and Casey Jones Farm 2-pack. Now, and this is movie 1. So
they're gonna do the alternate sculpts. They're gonna do the sculpts. They're gonna do the sculpt for Elias Codius, where the hands are like literally over her shoulder and like all over the top of her boob, like all the way like down to like her waist, right? Like they have to. Now that they're on the farm pack, you know what the farm pack is. You know it's gonna come with a chair. It's gonna come with a chair, maybe even a table, and you're gonna have your boy Elias Codius and your girl Judith Hogue, and he's been doing that shoulder rub, man. That's going to happen. That is, I tell you what, Eric. That makes me believe dreams can come true.
Dreams can come true. So,
and you know what? And you're going to hear me one time say this. I want you to really put your mind on record right now and really track this one in.
Okay.
If this can happen, Eric, you might get your Ernie Reyes Jr. head. Man.
I might.
You know what I'm saying? Like if that's the world we live in, where those dreams are coming true, where not only did you get Judith Hogue and Elias Codius getting like screen accurate, like photo accurate face sculpts from NECA, but like we're gonna be in the farmhouse now,
right?
Then give me that Ernie Reyes Jr. head shit, maybe. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Goodness. So apparently there are pictures on Twitter, but I unfortunately do not have Twitter on my devices at the moment.
I have Twitter on my phone, but I don't have it up.
Yeah, let's see. But yeah,
here we go.
That's nuts. Like I don't want to say they're milking it, because that seems a little like not insensitive, but like insulting. But like they're going all out on this movie, but I don't blame them. Like that movie's so good, and but yeah, let's see. I'm trying to. So yeah. No.
We muted.
We were muted for half a second because I forget that I have a shortcut on my keyboard that is whenever I Google search that it mutes shit. So that'll be fixed.
Muted for half a second now, or muted for half a second the entire time we've been on here?
No, half a second, just when I did a search real quick. So yeah.
Okay.
I'm gonna have to take the stream down and replace the whole video, everything. So it's a thing.
So anyway, yeah. So we'll be covering that next week if pictures come out.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And Eric, I'm serious because like a lot of times, you know what I mean, man. Like I know about these figures, man. I like to commentate on them, but like I'm not in that nitty gritty day to day. I'm not in that palette diving life.
Right.
You need to help me get those.
Oh, okay.
Like we need to have a talk about like how do I get it? Like how do I make sure I get them?
Yeah.
Like I don't know if they're going to be like a store exclusive or this is like a pre-order situation or like what it's going to be.
So,
but
my
I feel moved to get these.
My understanding is Walmart is going to have them, which they generally have the movie stuff.
30 seconds. Okay, thanks, Adam.
Yeah. So,
I was terrified we were muted the entire time, like we were on the beginning of the show, and it just brought back painful memories. It's like no.
Yeah. No, what sucks is that a little bit more behind the curtain. So I had set up a mute button. Just as him, and I thought you would think that if you're not in the program, so I was on Google, I would think that if I'm typing over there that it wouldn't affect the other programs, but apparently it does. So there's the
does
wonderful
it
joys.
The program.
It affects all the grams, all of them.
Well, that's awful.
Even the Teddy grams. But
even the Teddy grams.
So I have seen a handful of movie figures at Walmart. I saw the Casey Jones Raph Disguise 2-pack once, and I nabbed them. I've seen some of the Foot Soldiers. I've seen Super Shredder. Everything else I haven't really seen. So this is probably going to be tough. But the thing is that it's two human characters, and Casey won't be he won't be in his Casey outfit. He'll be in his just civilian outfit. The one where he doesn't want to sleep in the sewers with a bunch of dudes. The slightly accidentally homophobic.
Because he never even looked at a guy.
Looked at a guy, right? Yeah.
That's one of my favorite lines ever in that movie.
Right. It. So yeah. Well. All
right.
So let's name this. We gotta get out of here.
So yeah, let's do this. 258, right?
Yeah, 258.
Yeah, 258. Getting close to that 260 mark, boys.
Mm-hmm.
Getting close to that. I mean, I want to say close to that 300, but like to be honest, like doing episodes every week, like we have been since like we got back after the pandemic. I mean, it don't take long. You know what I'm saying?
Nah.
I mean, yeah, we're still a little ways away, but yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So, you gonna drop the Devil's Monster for me?
I think I can. Think you can. I think I can. I'm working myself up.
Little engine that could over here.
Precisely.
Oh, true.
Yep.
Chew.
Chicken bacon ranch. There we go. Got it.
Chicken bacon ranch on the mic. Yep. All right. That should have been your golf your golf thug's name.
That should have been.
Should have been CBR, dude.
Yeah, CBR. That could be my other alias. So then I'd have stretch marks. What is it? Golf cart with a K but spelled with a C, and then chicken bacon ranch. Yep.
Chicken bacon ranch.
Chicken bacon ranch.
All right. You ready?
The Devil's Monster. That's what we're doing. Okay.
The Devil's Monster. But I need you to like envision that face of that Daruma doll. I need you to see that face.
Okay.
Oh God, you're doing it to me now.
I was.
All right, you ready? All right. This is Turtle Soup, episode 258.
The Devil's Monster. That was my like trying to scare little kids voice.
Got it. Yeah, I heard that at the end. I heard trying to scare kids right at the end of that. Yeah.
Yeah. I had kids in mind there.
All right, let's just do another one, man. Just freestyle your style. You ready?
Yeah, I'm thinking.
Let's get lower. Give me a little bit more like proximity effect on the mic. Like get a little kind of.
Okay.
Yeah, like you don't have to shout it, but make it more foreboding. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Let's try that. You ready?
Mm-hmm. I'm ready.
This is Turtle Soup, episode 258.
The Devil's Monster.
A little bit like Gravedigger. A little bit.
They did. That was a little bit of sell you the seat, but you only need the edge.
Oh, no, that's 100% what it was. You only need the edge if you hear that.
Yeah.
Can I go any lower? Like, the Devil's Monster.
See, yours is better. The Devil's Monster. I just sound like...
Yeah, I probably need to do it.
Yeah, I sound
Let's
like
do an alternate version. You pick which one sounds better. Like, we actually hear the better audio.
Okay.
I'll do one.
All right.
But you got to do the episode number, because then if we use this, it gets all crossed up.
Word up.
Although, wouldn't it be funny as hell to have one where it was me saying this is Turtle Soup, it was also me doing the thing? That'd be hilarious.
I think we've done it before. I mean, we've done almost 300 of these. I'm sure we have. I just can't think of one at the moment.
The only one I can remember off the top of my head would have been maybe the Lizard King, where I did like I Am the Lizard King, where I did like the Jim Morrison like vocal reverb effect on it.
Yeah,
I think I might have said this is Turtle Soup, and then also done the I Am the Lizard King thing.
Yeah, I think you did. So, but
it might be the only time.
It might be.
Yeah, drop it. 258.
Turtle Soup, episode 258.
The Devil's Monster. How was that?
It wasn't bad. You
get a little more. Yeah, any direction?
No, I don't know. I mean, it's like, it's got it, but I don't know if it's quite what you're wanting. It's close, but like.
Yeah, I'm not like I realized early. Like I think the temptation is to shout it. And like, but I think that just doesn't make it sound as impressive as pulling back and making it more like foreboding.
Right. Like I've been trying to sing lower, like how Steven from the Magnetic Field sings, just like all like in the back of your throat kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I was trying to do that here, but it just wasn't working. So the Devil's Monster. I just sound like I'm waking up. You know, like I'm Satan waking up.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Let me get a sip.
Yeah, I had to wet the whistle. You know what I'm saying? But
you got to wet. Oh, you know what? I'm out of tea. I'm out of coffee. Time for that clutch Mountain Dew.
Yep.
Not like a lukewarm Mountain Dew to really.
Nothing like a lukewarm Mountain Dew at 11:36 p.m. Everybody.
Yeah, I grabbed it. I grabbed it when we started the show.
Oh, okay.
And it shows you how long our actual damn show is that it was cold from the fridge, and now it is like it could kind of have just been outside.
Right.
You know, like that's the temperature we've got here.
Yeah. All right. Well, give me one more. Like having done the do, give me one more, and then we're gonna get out of here.
Having done the do, I'm trying to get a little off axis so I don't pop into this thing. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate it. Yeah, don't pop 100 on there.
I'm not gonna pop 100. Maybe I will.
Maybe you will.
If y'all help us pop 100, I'll pop 100.
Oh my goodness! I don't know what all that
fucking means. I have no idea what that means. Okay.
All right.
I have no idea. I don't know what we're doing now. All right.
Turtle Soup, episode 258.
The Devil's Monster.
That's pretty good. I like that one.
Yeah, let me try one more.
One more? Okay.
No, I can just do it again.
Okay. Well, it's easier it's easier for editing purposes if I do it too. So, Turtle Soup, episode 258.
The Devil's Monster. Picked up the pace a little bit.
I kind of like that too because it's like a little stab, like a little jab. You know what I'm saying? It's like A
little stab, a little jab.
Little
stab-a-lab-a ding-dong.
Stab-a-lab-a-ding-dong.
Stab-a-lab-a-ding-dong.
Yep.
What?
Did you just do this the whatever you just did to the tune of like da-na-na-na-na? I think
I did.
I think you totally did. Oh,
I did it. Stab-a-lab-a-ding-dong. Stab-a-lab-a.
Stab.
Wait, that's the episode title.
Yeah.
Got it.